And Punahou to be performed by Kahuku High School's Vocal Motion.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Hawaii, Punahou, Nanai, Komoi, Kalani, Ali'i, Keali'i, Makualani, Kamehameha, Nakawa e Pale, Mekaihe, Makualani, Kamehameha, Nakawa e Pale, Mekaihe.
In the north end zone are open for your use. Your attention, please. Francis Matsunaga, please report to the information room. That's in the south end zone main concourse behind Section A. Francis Matsunaga to the information room, please. Football fans, at this time we introduce the starting offense for the OIA champion Kahuku Red Raiders. On the offensive line, number 56, Justin Abergano. Number 58, Ross Solanoa. Number 63, Latu Tupo. Number 69, Pele Avea. And number 79, Ken Levi. The tight end is number 80, Devin Unga. At running back, number 30, Molosi Teo. At running back, number 31, Kamuela Alisa. The quarterback is number 11, Cowlin Krebs. At wide receiver, number 1, Redmond Tudor. And wide receiver, number 8, Jason Evans. And head coach, Sioaki Levi, and the rest of the Kahuku Red Raiders. And now we introduce the starting defense, representing the ILH champions, the Punahou Buff and Blue. On the defensive line, number 88, Mike Exdahl. Defensive line, number 90, Jonathan Overton. And on the defensive line, number 79, Will Tafolo. Linebackers, number 13, Frederick Rolfing. Number 14, Adam Morris. Number 9, Stephen Danaway. Number 20, Keoki Hong. The defensive backs, number 16, Dane Costa. Number 7, Jay Angati. Number 15, Micah Murashige. And number 17, Sam Higgins. Head coach of Punahou, Kaleane. And the rest of the Buff and Blue.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Aloha Stadium Stars' 11th season of bringing you Hawaii High School Athletic Association football tonight. The first Hawaiian Bank State Tournament final between the Kahuku Red Raiders from the North Shore and the Punahou Buff and Blue of the Interscholastic League of Honolulu. Tonight, joining me is Jim Oshiro. I'm Dan Hawkins. Jim, a great matchup. Two different teams from two different leagues, both with different styles of football. First, Kahuku, they come in running the football, and that is their main name of the game.
Yeah, nothing fancy about the Kahuku Red Raiders. It's just typical easy, simple, fancy, no fancy smash mouth football. They will run it down your throat and keep running it down into the wear you out. On the other side, you've got a passing attack of Punahou, led by one of the best quarterbacks in the state in Brett Kahn.
Kahuku has won the toss.
With Brett Kahn,
they've elected to receive in the north end zone.
Don't get too settled into the passing attack, because when you do, they'll surprise you with a very good running game. Either way, both defenses will have to be on their toes tonight.
Both of these teams come in on a modest roll. Punahou, a 5-game winning streak. For Kahuku, they've spent pretty much the last 6 weeks on top of the state football polls after Punahou briefly flirted with the top. Kahuku is going to receive the football. A very nice crowd on hand tonight. Earlier tonight, the game just completed, the Division II state final. Iolani, a 34-20 winner over Radford.
Well, you can already feel the excitement in the air here at the stadium. If you look around, a whole sea of red on the Kahuku side, and on the opposite side, a whole sea of white. The community support of both schools have really turned out tonight.
Both of these schools, for Punahou, a 28-year drought. They last played in a championship game of this magnitude in 1977. The Prep Bowl against Waianae. They were on the short end of the stick of that ball game. For Kahuku, 3 state titles over the last 6 years. The teams are on the field, and we are about ready to get underway here in the first Hawaiian Bank State Final in Division I. Back deep for Kahuku is number 2, Shiloh Te'ao, and number 12, Suesi Tuimone. So here we are. We're going to get underway right now, and the 2005 state final is underway. And it's going to be Te'ao at his 15-yard line, picks it up, and he is going to be brought down close to the 21-yard line. Nice tackle there by Stephen Danaway, and we'll get our first look at the Red Raiders offense led by the senior quarterback, Colin Krebs.
Yeah, Colin Krebs, a very good quarterback for this Kahuku offense, leads the offense in a very good way. Again, you're not going to see that guy pass very many times at all, but I'll tell you what, watch the running back in Malosi Teo. This guy has really come around, especially in the last 4 or 5 games of the season.
Te'ao, the 4th-ranked rusher in the state, has almost 1,000 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns. He had 140 yards last week and 3 touchdowns on his own.
And keep in mind, too, this guy was not even the starting tailback when the season first started. It was Kamuela Alisa, but since then, Teo has taken over.
First down from the 16-yard line, and that handoff is going to go to Te'ao up the middle. He's going to pick up close to 6 yards on that carry, and it'll bring up second down.
You know, one of the keys tonight for Punahou, they're going to have to try to limit the run as much as possible. I don't think they're going to stop the run necessarily, but they're going to have to limit the run and especially prevent the big plays. Malosi Teo in particular has had a number of big runs this year, and Punahou needs to stop that.
Second down, 3 yards from the 28. Te'ao again, and he is going to be brought down good enough for the first down, a pickup of 5 yards. He was brought down by Jonathan Overton, and the sticks will move.
Yeah, I don't need a big night from that guy right there, Jonathan Overton of Punahou, the senior. And Malosi Teo will take advantage of a very big offensive line in front of him, a line that averages about 290 pounds or so, opening up big holes like that.
First and 10 from the 33-yard line. You mentioned that running game of the Red Raiders, averaging 235 yards rushing every game this season. So a nice job on the ground this season by the Raiders as that run goes up the middle for about 1 yard, and will bring up second down. Teo on the carry.
Again, Punahou will not be surprised. There's nothing fancy out of this Kahuku offense. You're going to see the run, and it'll be Malosi Teo for the most part. They got to have a lot of quickness on defense for Punahou, just like that there. The linebackers are going to have to be there to plug up the holes because the Kahuku offensive line will really open up a lot of holes with their big size.
We wondered how Punahou would stack up on defense, usually going with that three-man front, but tonight looks like they're stacking the box, and that handoff is going to go off the right side, and it's going to go for no gain, basically. Teo actually going to pick up about 1.5 yards, so a nice job there by the Punahou defense on second down.
But not only is Teo a fast runner, but he is also one of the strongest runners. You saw on that run right there, it took about 3 guys to finally bring him down. He bounces off one man, then another. Nice spin move there by the senior running back, and you just see him keep his legs moving there and dragging a guy with him. I think that was Jonathan Overton too.
Sure was. Brings up a 3rd down 5 situation for the Red Raiders. Kahuku has turned out in force tonight. There's nobody on the North Shore as Teo runs up the middle, and he is going to pick up 3 yards, so he's actually going to be a couple yards short of the 1st down, and the Buff and Blue face their first defensive test of the game with flying colors.
Well, at least on this first possession, yeah, Punahou comes out with a tremendous victory over a very tough running attack by Kahuku.
Back deep for the Buff and Blue, the very dangerous return man, Maya Ostrovsky. Ostrovsky, one of their most dangerous weapons on offense, but also very capable on special teams.
Yeah, this guy does it all for the Buff and Blue, and of course they got another guy now on the receiving end for Punahou, River Kim.
Fair catch called for at the 23-yard line. It's fair caught by Sam Higgins, and Brett Kahn will lead the Buff and Blue offense out onto the field for their first series of this football game. And Brett Kahn, a 2-year starter for the Buff and Blue, has really improved his pocket presence this year.
Yeah, last year he started as a sophomore, but again, as a young player, you could see all the deficiencies, but boy, he has really come in this year focused. He knows the offense much better, and maybe that's the reason why he's passed for over 2,500 yards this year.
1st and 10 now from the 24-yard line, just underway at Aloha Stadium. 8:52 remaining. First quarter, it's still scoreless here in this state final, and that pass is incomplete. It was intended for the junior River Kim.
Yeah, River Kim is another receiver that's coming to his own the last few games. Everybody's going to be keying on Maya Ostrovsky, so they needed another receiver to go to, and River Kim is the guy that's been stepping it up.
River Kim, 40 receptions on the year, almost 600 yards, and 4 touchdowns, including that huge play last week, 78 yards, that really broke open this ball game last week for the Buff and Blue. Brings up 2nd down and 10 now. Ostrovsky in motion, offset eye, and Kahn up top, overthrown. Was intended for Ostrovsky, but a little bit maybe too much on that throw by Brett Kahn.
Yeah, Kahn floated that ball a little bit. Now, that's something that Brett Kahn will have to be careful tonight. It's last week against the Baldwin Bears. Kahn threw 3 interceptions. He cannot do that against a top-ranked team like this.
17 interceptions on the year and 5 in the playoffs. So against a tough secondary like Kahuku, you definitely can't afford too many interceptions. A huge 3rd down conversion here. 3rd and 10 for the Buff and Blue. Yamagishi out of the backfield, and Kahn's going to go up top. He's got a man, and it's almost intercepted. Punahou going to go 3 and out here on their first series of the game. It was broken up by Suesi Tuamane for the Red Raiders.
Brett Kahn trying to hit Kyle Whitford, a junior wide receiver. Whitford was open for a moment, but the ball kind of floated up there as it got to Whitford. That gave Suesi Tuimane a chance to break it up.
Back deep for the Red Raiders is Tuimane and also Shiloh Tea, the brother of Melesso, and he fumbles the ball. It's on the ground, and it's recovered by the Buff and Blue. Sam Higgins down on special teams, and the first big break of the game goes to the Buff and Blue, and an unfortunate turn of events for the Red Raiders.
Oh, what a turn of events there. Teo let the ball bounce. He let the ball play him, and of course that football with its weird shapes and everything takes all kinds of funny bounces misses sometimes, and it did right there. Teo not able to handle that, and Johnny on the spot. Sam Higgins, what a big turn of events here for the Buff and Blue.
Higgins, a big force for the Buff and Blue all season long. So it's first down and 10 at the 34-yard line of the Red Raiders. So the Buff and Blue hand that off to Colin Valoria, but he is stuffed immediately by the Red Raiders on defense. Number 57 for Kahuku was in on the stop. That's James Cabreros. And they were all over that play.
And make it Kainoa Carlson on that first run. Carlson, again, we talked about Punahou's passing attack, but again, you got to watch out for their running game. They've actually had a lot more run plays this year. In fact, last week against Baldwin, they had more rushing attempts than passing attempts.
Ryan Nobrega has checked into the ball game. He was out early this season, didn't see a lot of action, but that pass is complete to Zach Yamagishi, and he is run out of bounds at the 27-yard line, a pickup of 8 yards. So a nice throw there by Brett Kahn.
Yamagishi, the senior receiver, 5'7", 160 pounds. Kahn throwing under coverage there, and Shiloh Teo had to come up to make that play, but you see wide open is Yamagishi.
Brings up a short 3rd down and 3 conversion. The second 3rd down conversion of the game for the Buff and Blue. They did not convert on their first one. Kahn gonna go up top, and that pass is complete and good enough for a first down. Maya Ostrowski across the middle, and the Buff and Blue move the sticks.
Looked like a little inside slant pattern there run by Ostrowski, and Kahn not doing too much on that, just looking for that open receiver. Give credit to the offensive line of Punahou. They are giving Kahn a time to pass the ball. Not an easy thing to do against a very tough Kahuku defense like this.
That O-line averaging about 223 pounds across the front. Gavin Silva, Ed Pallett, Cody Kakipi, a second-team ILH'er, Trevor Grace, and Drew Upariza really anchor that line as penalty flags fly here on first down, probably in the area of false start.
You think about the task tonight that the Punahou offensive line has.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. It remains first down.
The task, they have to face an all-state lineman like B.J. Beatty, along with Kaniela Tuipolotu. Tuipolotu has caused all kinds of havoc for opposing quarterbacks this season.
Get a good look there on the sidelines at the offensive coordinator for the Buff and Blue, Daryl Kahn. Of course, his son is the quarterback, Brett. Good tutelage there, probably at the dinner table, as Kahn now on first down throws that, and it's going to be complete, but it's stuffed immediately. That was Kainoa Carlson, but he's immediately brought down by 53, Keo Alo.
Keo Alo, the senior, 5'10", 250-pound linebacker, able to sniff that play out. That's what made that plays like that has made Punahou very dangerous this year. The running back like Carlson coming out of the backfield to make that catch.
Nothing gained on that play, excuse me. Second down 14. They actually pick up 1 yard from the 27-yard line out of the shotgun now. And Kahn gonna go up top, and it's overthrown, intended for Maya Ostrowski. Suesi Tuimane was blanket coverage over Ostrowski.
Boy, and Maya Ostrowski made a nice spin move there on Tuimane. Ostrowski able to break free for just a second. Unfortunately, the pass was slightly overthrown.
6:11 to go here. First quarter, it's still scoreless between the Buff and Blue and the Red Raiders here in the First Hawaiian Bank 2005 state football final. Third down 14, and Kahn again gonna go up top. He's got a man, Yamagishi, touchdown! Zach Yamagishi's 5th touchdown catch of the season, and the Buff and Blue jump out on top. And if you read all the newspapers and talked to all the media this week, nobody really gave the Buff and Blue a chance, but here they are starting out on top.
And boy, Zach Yamagishi on this play able to split between 2 defensive backs to make that catch and get open. So that big play there with Shiloh Teo not able to handle that punt leads to this Punahou touchdown.
River Kim in to attempt the extra point, and it's good. So Punahou at the 6:04 mark of the first quarter have a 6-0 lead. That scoring drive, 5 plays, culminates in the 36-yard touchdown pass from Khan to Zach Yamagishi. And the unthinkable has happened for the Red Raiders. They start from behind.
You know, it was important for Punahou to score first because everybody is expecting Kahuku to come up with the win tonight. And no question, their favorite tonight is the Red Raiders. So Punahou needs to score, and they need to score a lot of points. They need to keep up with the Red Raiders. Once again, you see that touchdown pass, perfectly thrown pass by Brett Kahn. Now, just to give you an idea how tough it is to score in this Kahuku team, this is a Red Raider team that out of 11 games this year has 8 shutouts.
In fact, they've only allowed 46 points all season long, and 23 of those points were in that one loss to Castle.
I mean, you divide that per game. You're talking about 4 points a game.
That's pretty tough. In fact, their defense last week held Waianae to only 97 total yards and only 34 on the ground. So if you want to get something done, you might have to go through the air.
And Waianae is not the easiest team to beat either. They had an excellent year this year, but Kahuku just manhandled them.
So the kick is up and goes into the end zone for a touchback, and the Red Raiders will start out at their own 20-yard line, down 7 here, 6:04 remaining first quarter. And with the Red Raiders, you know they're going to run the football, but they're going to try to set up the play action here at some point in this game as well.
Well, I don't know what the defensive coaches planned out on the Punahou side, but at least on that first possession anyway, they did something right because they were able to stop the running attack. And again, they need to minimize the run and prevent the big plays.
1st and 10 from the 20-yard line, I formation for the Red Raiders. Te'ao, the fullback, takes it, and he is going to ankle tackled immediately. Sam Higgins on a linebacker blitz was all over that play.
Looked like on that one, Higgins was not even touched going right through, but you saw him just streak right in there, and Te'ao ankle tackled right there. Higgins, again, coming out of nowhere to make that stop. They need plays like that from Sam Higgins.
They talked about trying to stunt their linebackers to confuse the linebackers and used it to perfection there. A loss of 1 yard on the play brings up 2nd down and 11 from the 19-yard line. Handoff again to Tao, and he's got open room. He's at the 30. He's at the 40, and he's going to be brought down. Nice run by Te'ao. Finally brought down in the secondary by the safety, Keoki Hong.
First, give credit to the very big offensive line of the Red Raiders. They opened up that big hole once again for Te'ao. After that, it's all Malosia. As soon as he hits the line there, watch his breakaway speed. That's been the big part for him of his success this year, that breakaway speed. And boy, Kahuku moves the chains well on this on that run there.
Buff and Blue very lucky that Keoki Hong got a hold of his footer. That could have been 6. 1st and 10 now. 45-yard line of the Buff and Blue, and Tao again goes up the middle. No gain on that. He might have got 1. We'll see where the spot is. That was actually Camuelo Elisa on his first carry of the game, and you mentioned it before. Elisa started out as the starter.
Now, Camuelo Elisa actually was in the top 10 as far as rushers early in the season, but again, towards the tail end, Malosi Te'ao just took over. But you got to give credit to Camuelo Elisa. Good attitude, switched over to the fullback position because he knew that Te'ao was so successful.
2nd down, 9 from the 44-yard line. 4:30 to go, first quarter. Punahou on top, 7-0. Krebs looking to throw it here, and it's thrown a little bit over the head of Devin Unga, the tight end. Keoki Hong was in coverage, but there was no way Unga could get to that.
You know, it's one of the few passes, too, you're going to see Colin Krebs throw. That was actually his 10th pass. His 10th pass attempt thrown all season. I'm sorry, make that his 58th pass. He's thrown 9 touchdowns. But still, 58 passes in a whole season, that's not much.
Krebs, 196.8 pass efficiency rating. The Raiders have about 964 yards through the air. As you see another run there, a nice stop again by Sam Higgins, but he comes up a little bit hobbling there towards the sideline.
We saw Higgins get shaken up a little bit last week against Baldwin. Punahou can ill afford to lose a linebacker like him. They already don't have Sean Murphy. I don't see him in there anyway. And they can ill afford to lose players like Higgins.
Murphy out last week after he was hurt against Aiea. And we have not seen him out on the field, so we do not think that he is playing tonight. However, you see Higgins being carried off the field. You have to hope there it's nothing serious. Head coach Kaliane of the Punahou Buff and Blue in his 7th season as the head coach, and the Buff and Blue making their first appearance in the state tournament as that ball is punted away, and it's going to be taking a Kahuku bounce very close to the 11-yard line where it's down. So a nice job there by the punting unit for the Red Raiders. And now Punahou will get their second chance, and the Buff and Blue defense has done its job so far.
Again, another victory for the Punahou defense early here in the game. They're playing very disciplined. They're getting to their spots and making key tackles.
3:47 remaining first quarter at Aloha Stadium. State finals in Division I, the final football game of the season underway right now. First down and Kahn across the middle, and that was intended for number 87, Patrick McFadden. Nice coverage there from Kahuku. Number 26, Chico Ramirez, was all over McFadden.
Yeah, Ramirez gave McFadden a nice big aloha on that one at the end there. And well, Chico Ramirez has been a key guy in the defensive backfield for Kahuku this year, the senior, 6 feet, 170 pounds.
Second down from the 6-yard line. Offset I formation for the Buff and Blue. And there's a handoff, and it's going to be good for about 2 yards on the carry. Kainoa Carlson, who's really done the lion's share of the ball carrying this year for the Buff and Blue, was the ball carrier.
Kainoa Carlson, again, he's made some nice runs this year for the Buff and Blue. Shows the opposing team something different other than just the pass.
For as little as the Buff and Blue run, he's racked up close to 550 yards this season, a pretty good total. And he carried him on that drive last week in the third quarter that really opened up that game last week for them in that win. Kahn now looks to throw, and it's in and out of the hands. Maya Ostrovsky. I don't think he was quite ready to catch that football.
Looked like it might have been thrown just a little bit behind him, but I think at the same time he heard the footsteps of Chico Ramirez coming up from the side there. And Ostrowski, again, one of the best receivers in the state, if not the best, not able to handle that pass.
Kioki Hong will be in to kick it away. Shiloh Tiao and Tuimane back deep for the Red Raiders. Looks like they're going to get pretty good field position, but a nice punt by Hong and a dangerous pickup there by Tuimane. That's kind of dangerous ground considering the earlier play.
Yeah, Tuimane perhaps should have let that ball alone there and just get away from it after that last punt from the last time when Punahou marched on to score after that.
2:45 to go here in the first quarter at Aloha Stadium. Pretty interesting game so far. We've pretty much seen what we thought we would see. Kahuku running the football, Punahou trying to throw the football.
Well, in spite of the fact, too, Dan, that Punahou scored first, you don't see any panic on the Kahuku side. They are very, very experienced when it comes to championship play.
A veteran football team, to be sure, coached by Savaki Levi, and that handoff is going to go up the middle. Joseph Whitaker with his first carry of the evening. Whitaker had a pretty good night last week, 107 yards and a touchdown.
Boy, Kahuku, so deep in the running back position there. You have Teo, and then you've got Alisa, and now here Joe Whitaker. Remember last year, they went about 4 or 5 deep at the running back position.
Second down, a short 2 yards to go here. Krebs going to hand that to Teo, and he's going to be brought down by Kyoki Hong at the 45-yard line, just short of a first down.
You know, earlier we talked about Kahuku not panicking. Well, Punahou, this is their first time in the championship game in a long, long time. They have to be careful not to get too amped up. They need to play within themselves and execute their plays continuously.
Kahuku and Punahou have met 8 other times, with Punahou holding a 7-1 advantage in these football games. They last met in '97 as that give goes up the middle, and the Buff and Blue defense sniffed it out. That's Whitaker, and he is going to be dropped. A nice play there. Can't see his number because his jersey, it's Jay Gotti. His whole jersey got like a hockey player pulled up over his head.
That was good determination, good second effort there by Whitaker. He was stopped right there at the line of scrimmage. In fact, he was being driven back as you watch there, but watch him somehow spin away and get away. That's determination.
I think the Kahuku coaching staff is arguing a little bit of forward progress, but to no avail as the ball is spotted at the 48-yard line, so the punting crew is in for the Red Raiders. Back deep is Maya Ostrovsky, standing at his own 13-yard line. He picks it up at the 10, Ostrovsky, and he is going to be tackled at the 13-yard line. Nice special teams play there for the Red Raiders. Jede Malafao was in on the stop. A nice tackle.
Well, do you think the confidence level of Punahou is flying high right now? That's 3 possessions against the maybe the top offensive team in the state, and the defense has stopped them all 3 times.
Definitely the Buff and Blue have to be stoked if you're defensive coordinator Kali Ane, as he handles the defensive play calling for the Buff and Blues defensive unit. 30 seconds remaining here in the opening quarter of the state Division I final. It's Punahou 7, Kahuku nothing, as Khan's going to go up top, and it's incomplete. It's intended for Maya Ostrovsky, and one thing is for sure, Brett Khan is not afraid to air it out here in this biggest of games.
Oh yeah, he's never afraid to throw that ball around. On that pass though, it looked like Ostrovsky had turned in and Khan had thrown it to his outside shoulder instead, and with that, Ostrovsky not able to make that catch there. He was, however, well covered on that. And getting back to the Punahou defense, I mean, you talk about a turnaround from last year. This is a Punahou defense that gave up about 23 points a game this year. This year, they were giving up about 13. That's a 10-point swing from last year.
That give goes up the middle, and Ryan Nobriga will take it out to the 15-yard line, a pickup of 2 yards. Nobriga had to be thanking his teammates because they actually gave him another opportunity to play.
Yeah, it's good to see Ryan Nobriga in there. That guy was out for a little while with an injury, but he came back in into the playing field when Punahou played IAA in the quarterfinals of the state tournament. Good to see that boy back in again.
That's going to be the final play of the first quarter. You can see the score. It's Punahou 7, Kahuku nothing. State finals. You're watching Aloha Stadium Stars Sports.
Championships are brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank, where the power of yes is the power of possibilities.
I see you, I see you, you see me, and all the world can see that we should be together, yeah, yeah, yeah.
December at Aloha Stadium only means one thing, the state finals, and tonight a great matchup, Kahuku and Punahou. Start of the second quarter, Punahou on top, 7-0 over the Red Raiders. Dan Hawkins alongside Jim Oshiro. And Jim, this game pretty much what we thought it would be, but the Buff and Blue defense has really been the story of this football game.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, Punahou was ahead 7-0, but they no doubt won the first quarter with all those defensive stops there. Kahuku, a very tough team to stop on offense. They've done it 3 times, though.
Khan now rolling out, has that pass incomplete. It was intended for Maya Ostrowski, and darn lucky it didn't get intercepted.
Yeah, once again, you see a pass there from Khan to Ostrowski, and again, Khan just missing, hitting Ostrowski. So those two not quite yet on the same page yet, but that'll happen soon enough.
Keoki Hong will bring out the punting unit once again. Another good opportunity for field position. An injury update. Sam Higgins went to the locker room with his knee all wrapped up. That could be a huge loss for the Buffalo Blues.
Hopefully it's not that serious. They need Sam Higgins.
Hong gets off a nice punt there and takes a little bit of a buff and blue bounce as good special teams coverage, and it rolls out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So Keoki Hong does his job, but we do have a penalty flag down on the field.
And on that punt, Suiesi Tuimaune doing the right thing. I'm sure the coaches talked to him to just get away from that football.
Well, it had disastrous results early in the first quarter and led to the Buff and Blue really being in business.
Yeah, regardless, too, Kahuku was going to have pretty good field position.
Some of the first quarter stats as we wait for the crew to work out. Total offense, 43 yards for the
receiving
Buffalo.
team. 10-yard penalty on the end of the run. It'll be first down, Kahuku.
So Kahuku takes a penalty and backs him up to the 30-yard line. So a nice little break there for the Buff and Blue. In fact, Kahuku actually has about 20 more yards in offense. So we have not really seen a lot of offensive fireworks that we thought we might. First down now for the Raiders, and that's going to go up the middle, pickup of 2 yards. Tao on the carry.
Well, we'll see if Kahuku has made some kind of adjustment on offense. Kind of funny saying that when you think of the kind of running attack that Kahuku has, but Punahou has really done a job on them so far tonight.
Keoki Hong has done his job. 2 punts averaging 42.5 yards. So a nice job there as that really pushed the Red Raiders back. We've seen 5 punts tonight, Jim.
Can't give credit to the defenses of both sides.
Second down and 7 from the 34, and that's caught. And that's still on his feet. And he's finally going to be brought down. Kamuela Alisa was the man who caught the football.
And boy, I tell you what, Dan, Kamuela Alisa is going to have a talk with his offensive lineman there, Pele Avea. Avea is the one that actually knocked Alisa down. Alisa coming out of the backfield to make that catch from Krebs. And again, you see what a dangerous runner Alisa is. No wonder he was such a tough runner earlier this year. But watch from behind there, Avea coming in to knock him down. He was just trying to play a block for him, but unfortunately, he ran right into him.
First and 10 from the 48. Tao on his feet. He's got one man to beat. And that's Overton going to drag him down from behind. Jonathan Overton, 245 pounds, drug him down. But inside the 20-yard line, down to the 13, is Tao. A nice run, and the Red Raiders starting to get their running game untracked.
Well, again, Dan, as we talked about in the outset, Punahou was not going to really stop the running, and they just have to prevent the big runs. And you give up big runs like that to Teo. That's his second one tonight. You're in big trouble.
I formation now. First down and 10 for the Red Raiders. And Alisa going to be tackled. Jonathan Overton in on the stop. Overton, definitely a Division I college prospect for the Buff and Blue.
He has been a force this year for Punahou, and on that last play, did you see the foot speed on the defensive lineman, able to drag down Teo from behind?
You can definitely see why Oregon State University, former UH assistant Mike Cavanaugh, now the head coach, can definitely see why he has some interest in Jonathan Overton.
Yeah, whoever he goes to, he's going to be a good one.
Second down and 9 from the 12-yard line. The Red Raiders in the red zone for the first time in this football game. And Tao is upended. A nice play there by the Buff and Blues. Number 78, Will Tafolo, was in on the stop for the Buff and Blue.
Got a nice tackle there made by Punahou. Again, Punahou still playing pretty good defense. Looked like Jay Angadi was the guy that upended the runner there. But now the challenge begins for the Buff and Blue.
Te'ao now in the I formation. 3rd down, 5 from the 8-yard line. Te'ao going around to the outside, and he is going to be stopped short of the first down. Nice stop by Jay Angadi. And we talked about Jonathan Overton being a Division I prospect. What about this guy?
Yeah, Jay Angadi, the senior defensive back, he's got good foot speed, able to make that stop there. But this will be a big 4th down decision for Siwaki Levi and Kahuku. But I'll tell you what, they're this close, expecting to go for it.
Their first charge timeout.
So the Red Raiders decide to call their first timeout of the half at the 8:34 mark of the second quarter. It's 7-0. Punahou on top of the Red Raiders in this Division I state final. But you're right, Jim, a very huge decision here. And the way the Buff and Blue defense has been playing, you definitely got to be a little bit worried if you're the Red Raiders.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I'll tell you what, again, with their running game and their big offensive line to open up holes, I expect them to go for plays when they're only, 1 yard short and this close to the end zone.
Siwaki Levi, in his 10th season as the head coach, got his 100th career victory in the OIA championship game earlier this season. In fact, in our last game, Coach Wendell Look got his 100th career victory in that state final victory in Division II. And it looks like the Red Raiders, Jim, have decided to go for it. 4th down and 1 from the 4-yard line. 8:34 remaining, second quarter. The box is stacked by the Buff and Blue, and that handoff is going to go up the middle. Alisa, and he's in for the touchdown. Camuelo Alisa, his 12th touchdown of the season, and Punahou is Kahuku is an extra point away from tying this ball game.
Oh, you talk about smash mouth there. Just to make absolutely sure, they line up a big guy in the backfield, number 90, Alema Tachibana, to add a little extra block there, a little steam ahead of Kamuela Alisa, and boy, Kahuku gets it right there.
Interesting stat, Jim. 22 of 55 attempts for point after. So if Kahuku has an Achilles heel, this is it. And there it is. They've only converted 8 two-point conversions on the year, so make it 22 of 56. And the Buff and Blue hang on to a 1-point lead. And you can't underestimate the value of a kicker, which Punahou has and Kahuku really doesn't.
Now, over the years, we have not seen a very good kicking game from the Kahuku Red Raiders. So Siwaki Levi especially has gone for 2 points many a times. And on that one, unfortunately, it fails. And yeah, you're right. Towards the end of the game, we'll see if those extra points that he doesn't get could cost him a victory.
So the Buff and Blue with 8:29 remaining in the second quarter, holding on to the slimmest of margins, 7-6. You look at the first downs there. Kahuku with 10 first downs compared to the Buff and Blues 2.
Now on the other side, Punahou has a great kicker in River Kim. So every time Punahou scores, Kahuku follows that. They'll have to go for 2 points just to tie it up.
Colin Valoria, Kyle Whitford back deep for the Buff and Blue, as Gary Nagy for the Red Raiders will try to kick it off. You can feel the press box shaking, Jim. Listen to that crowd.
Oh, yeah.
A little end-over-end squib kick, and that's going to be taken by one of the up men, and he's still on his feet, and it looks like it was number 87, Patrick McFadden, and he's out to close to the 41-yard line. And this place is rocking with 8:21 remaining in the second quarter. And Brett Kahn will come back out to lead the Buff and Blue offense.
Now, Kahuku tried to prevent any kind of big run back there, but Patrick McFadden able to break a couple of tackles there and give Punahou some pretty good field position to start things off here.
And it is interesting to note that this game could become a game of field position. First down, 10 from the 41-yard line of the Buff and Blue. Kahn out of the shotgun. He's going to go up top, and it's out of the reach. And Wow. River Kim was absolutely laid out. And there was no way he could catch that football either.
Off of Bridenstine, making that monster hit there on River Kim. Off of Bridenstine, another key player on defense for the Red Raiders, the senior, 6'1", 183 pounds, laying the hat there on Kim.
Get the license plate number of that truck.
I think Kim is still woozy.
Second down, 10 from the 41-yard line. ESPN has been following the Red Raiders all week. Hopefully they got that on film as Khan almost has that one go crazy on him, intended for Maya Ostrowski. But Khan really has not looked very sharp so far in the passing game.
Yeah, Kahuku, that's their key tonight. They're going to have to put a lot of pressure on Brett Khan, because if Brett Khan gets on, well, I'll tell you, he's going to be one dangerous guy to deal with. But Kahuku, a very, very quick defense, led by BJ Beatty, and also, as we mentioned earlier, Kaniela Tuipulotu, very quick and able to put pressure on the quarterback.
Can't forget about guys like Micah Wiley, Malone Fiso. These guys stunt a lot and cause a lot of confusion. As Khan going to go up top, intended for Kyle Whitford, and it's caught. And he's down to the 20-yard line. So just when we say Brett Kahn's not getting it going on the passing game, he throws a nice pass there to Whitford, and it's good for a 39-yard completion.
There was some bumping going on there with Kyle Whitford and Suaesi Tuimaune, but just before the ball got there, Whitford able to get some separation and make a nice catch there. So Punahou with a big pass play there, their first one of the game.
First and 10 from the 20-yard line. And it looks like there's going to be an official's time on the field.
Timeout, Kahuku.
And it looks like Kahuku, not liking what they see, are going to call timeout. So maybe just the break that Brett Khan needed to maybe get untracked. And if you're the Red Raiders, you definitely don't want Brett Khan feeling confident.
Yeah, you said earlier that Khan was having his troubles feeling comfortable early, but a pass play like that can give you a load of confidence. And watch Brett Khan, I'm sure, pass the ball a lot more with confidence like that. And watch it again. The offensive line are giving Khan excellent time to pass, and Whitford rather able to get just enough separation to make that catch.
7:48 to go, second quarter. Recap the scoring. Brett Khan, that 36-yard touchdown pass to Zach Yamagishi opened the scoring in the first quarter. And then Kahuku answered back with a 69-yard drive, capped off by the 3-yard touchdown run by Kamuelo Elisa, but they missed the 2-point conversion. So we have a 7-6 ball game, 7:48 remaining in the second quarter. First and 10 for the Buffins at the 20-yard line. And looks like we've got a player jumping off sides, Joe Fiafili, for
prior to the snap,
the Red Raiders.
On defense, 5-yard penalty. He made first down.
Joe Fiafili was the man who jumped off sides. Fiafili, the senior, he's Hawaii's first selection to the U.S. Army All-American Bowl to be played January 7th at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio.
Yeah, that's a tremendous honor. A side note, too, that is Kahuku's first penalty tonight. Now, remember, this is a team that had 160 yards in penalties last week against Waianae. 18
penalty flags indeed last week, as Carlson going to take it up the middle, and he is going to be stuffed. Kevin Unga, the 6'2", 222-pound senior, was the man on the stop. And the Red Raiders playing tough here in the red zone.
This is where Kahuku's defense steps it up a notch and gets absolutely tough to score on here as Unga comes through there. Boy, such big hits tonight from Kahuku. They've had at least 3 so far here in the first half.
Kahuku very physical and very big in that defense. In fact, their secondary, the tallest in the state. These guys are huge. 6 foot, 6'1", 6'1", 6'2". These guys are some big guys. Second down and 1 from the 11. We'll have to see where they spot that football. Looks close enough for a first down. That was Ryan Nobriga on the carry. And we'll have to wait and see where the officials spot this ball, Jim.
Yeah, Ryan Nobriga, I think just With their spotting, I think he might have it by just the nose, but we'll see.
Well, they're not going to bring out the chain, so it'll bring up a 3rd down and inches from the 11-yard line. Kainoa Carlson and Ryan Nobriga in the offset I formation for the Buff and Blue. 6:20 to go, second quarter. And that give goes up the middle and good enough for the first down. So the Buff and Blue will have a 1st and goal just inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, nothing fancy there. Khan handing it up to the guy that was lined up front, Kainoa Carlson. And the offensive line opening up just enough to get Carlson through.
And that's quite an accomplishment when you're looking at Micah Wiley, Tui Pelotu, Adolfo, Beatty, Fiso. Those guys up front are so tough and big. First down and goal from the 9-yard line. Knocking on the doorstep here with just under 6 minutes to go. And there's movement up front. We'll have to see if somebody was drawn off sides.
Kahuku is pointing towards Punahou's way.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. After distance to the goal, first down.
So Kahuku gets flagged for the encroachment penalty. Let's check it out and see if we can see it on the replay.
We'll see it. So it looked like, yeah, that Kahuku jumped in there.
Joe Fiafili, the 2nd time on this drive. Sure, that's not going to be pleasant in film.
No,
sections.
you know that Siwagi Vai is frustrated with that, especially this close to the end zone.
1st and goal now from the 5-yard line for the Buff and Blue. The give goes up the middle. And that's going to be Carlson still on his feet. And he is going to be marked down close to the 1-yard line with his forward progress. Actually closer to the 2-yard line, so a pickup of 3 yards brought down by number 51 for Kahuku, Micah Wiley.
Like, Kainoa Carlson has been a pleasant surprise this year at the running back position for Punahou. He's just a junior, so he'll be back next year. Again, give good credit to the offensive line. They are opening up some nice holes.
2nd down, 2. 2nd down and goal, actually. Just under 5 minutes here to go. That give goes up the middle, and it's going to be just short of the end zone. Kainoa Carlson again on the carry, but the front for the Red Raiders sticking him to the ground.
That's why they try to tell running backs to keep their legs moving. You saw on that play there, Kainoa Carlson almost got in on that second effort. They're spinning around there.
Keo Alo was the man who just stood right in front of Kainoa Carlson and said, "You're not coming through me." 3rd down and goal from the 1, 4:22 remaining, and it's stuffed. Goes nowhere, as it looks like there might have been an exchange problem with the snap as Brett Kahn ended up on his back. And we'll see what the officiating crew works out. And the Kahuku crowd letting the officiating crew tonight have it.
Yeah, Khan thinks he crossed the plane there. Khan had a couple of 1-yard touchdown runs last week against Baldwin, but we'll see. The discussion's still going on there. It's going to be close no matter what happens anyway.
Well, I can tell you this, one half of the stadium's going to like the call and the other half's not.
Yeah.
A huge crowd on hand tonight, and it looks like we're going to get our call from the crew. Touchdown, Punahou. Brett Kahn from 1 yard out scores the touchdown, and the Buff and Blue score their 2nd touchdown of the game, as we'll check it out again on the Jiffy Lube replay.
We'll see if we can see it on this replay. I don't think we can, but it looked like he jumped over. He was only about a half yard out. But as you said, Dad, one side is going to like it, the other side was not.
River Kim will come in to try to kick the extra point for the Buff and Blue and give him an 8-point lead if he can convert that scoring drive. 9 plays, 59
Please
yards.
put 4 minutes on the clock. 4 minutes on the clock, please.
So Khan sneaks in from 1 yard out.
One thing I do like, though, Dan, in a big game like this, I like the fact that the officials got together and discussed it and finally made a decision.
And you saw that last week, too, in the semifinal games here at Aloha Stadium for Division I. And that's definitely good officiating. And, you know, for these kind of games, they're going to bring in their veteran crews. And some more whistles down on the field as we try to get this extra point off. And head coach Savaki Levi is walking out towards the officiating crew.
Timeout.
He's definitely not happy with the decision here. And there's a timeout on the field as Savaki Levi calls timeout. So Kahuku has no timeouts remaining.
Boy, is this Punahou team jacked up or not? In the championship game, their first tournament here, as you see that last touchdown. And the Kahuku side is saying, "My, he did not get in there." Kind of hard to tell on that replay.
The crowd, if you can hear them in the background, reacting to the replays on the Jumbotron. Of course, a great job by our Jumbotron crew.
I'll tell you what, they get some excellent shots, and to imagine, you think that, you know, most TV crews has about 5 or 6 cameras minimum, but you're talking about a Jumbotron crew here at the stadium that only uses 3 cameras, yet they're able to get such great shots.
Many mahalos to you guys out there on the camera crew and in the Jumbotron, providing us outstanding pictures all season long in this, our final game of the 2005 football season. And I know, not just for myself, but for all of the Stadium Stars crew, we really appreciate all of your efforts as well. The referee going to come out as we're going to go ahead and...
That was Kahuku's third and final team timeout for the half.
So Savaki Levi's arguments must have fallen on deaf ears, and the extra point try by River Kim about to get underway here. 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. And it's good. So River Kim puts the exclamation point on top of the touchdown, and it's 14-6 as you get a good look at the scoreboard.
Well, this Punahou team is playing inspired football thus far tonight. They are ahead of the OIA champions, a smash-mouth, tough football team, a very veteran football team as far as championship game is concerned. Punahou making their very first appearance in, 24 years in the championship game, and they are leading thus far.
Kahuku and Punahou never met in the postseason. We said earlier they've met 8 times in the regular season. Their last meeting, of course, in 1997. Punahou won that one by 2 points, 14-12 in a non-league game. So as you get a good look there at the Kahuku sidelines as they're trying to fire their guys up, and with still 4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter, a lot of football still to be played. This game a long way from being decided.
That looks like Doug Simonis. He was a former coach at Kahuku before Savaki Levi took over.
Levi took over in 1996 for Simone's, his 10th season at the helm. An excellent record for Coach Levi. 101 wins against only 20 losses. 10-1 this season, 9-1 in the OIA. Again, they only blemish on that record, that loss to Castle.
Yeah, and don't forget, 7 OIA titles and 3 state championships.
That ball's fielded at the 5-yard line, and a nice play there by the special teams unit. Tuimane brought down by Devin Ferguson, the 6'1", 185-pound sophomore, seeing some action. And we talked about it a few minutes ago. You mentioned it, but if you look at Punahou's offense, a lot of them are juniors and will be coming back.
Yeah, a good core coming back from next year, including Brett Kahn and also Maya Ostrowski and River Kim. They will have to replace some key guys on defense, but I'm sure Kalayane will do just that. 1st and
10 from the 24-yard line. Tao, the ball carrier, he's going to go up the middle. He's going to pick up about a yard. Whitaker was the fullback doing the blocking there for the Red Raiders.
Again, we talked about how this is such a new experience for Punahou. You and I talked last week in the game against Baldwin, but a humorous situation. Punahou, not used to playing so late in the season like that. They had to find a different practice field because other sports were taking over.
2nd and 8 from the 26-yard line. Again, the handoff up the middle might have picked up a yard. Tao stuffed. And again, we're not giving enough credit. Mike Eggesdahl for the Buff and Blue in on the stop. But this is the same defense, Jim, that held Polaris from Damien to like 71 yards, this season low.
Yeah, Kealoha Polaris, the outstanding running back from Damien. Boy, he was just stopped cold by this Punahou defense. That's how tough they can be.
3rd down 6 from the 28-yard line. A huge 3rd down for the Red Raiders as Krebs going to look to go in the air. He's got a man. It's complete. No one is going to catch him. Actually, it's Keoki Hong behind him. And it's in for the touchdown for Devin Unga, the tight end. But there's a penalty flag on the field and it's probably going to be excessive celebration.
Yeah, that's an unsportsmanlike conduct. You saw Unga tumbling in there. But I'll tell you what, a little defensive breakdown on the Punahou side. They're so used to the run. Colin Krebs surprised them, and Unga was wide open for that pass.
We talked about it before. That play-action fake was going to come into play, and they pulled it off to perfection there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. Score is good. Penalty will be assessed on the try.
And for not having a kicker, that's going to hurt you.
Yeah, because of that excessive celebration, the ball will be placed now at the 19-yard line. And again, Kahuku, because they failed on their last 2-point attempt in their last score, they have to go to 2 points again just to tie the game up. But they're going to have to do it from way back now.
So the extra point try will be from the 19-yard line, and it's going to go nowhere. So the 2-point conversion fails the second time in this ball game. They've tried it. Adam Morris for the Buff and Blue in on the stop. So with 2:32 remaining in the half, 14-12, Punahou on top of Kahuku. That scoring drive, 3 plays. Krebs, the 76-yard strike to Devin Unga. And Unga really broke away because Keoki Hong was in hot pursuit.
Again, he surprised the Punahou defense on that, and Unga doing a good job to get behind the secondary. And again, he was wide open for that pass play. Now, getting back to the 2-point conversion, that's 2 straight times now that Kahuku has failed. Now, in a situation like that, if Kahuku had some kind of passing game, they might have had a chance to get those 2 points. But when you have really no passing game at all, and just a run, well, it's kind of hard to get 2 points from 19 yards out.
And if Punahou should be up score another touchdown, you're basically a 2-point conversion is not going to tie the football game. Yeah. So it's definitely, you can feel the pain of not having a good kicking game, actually.
Siwaki Levi, though, is just going to trust his offense. They've done it for him all year long.
Sam Higgins back in the lineup for the Buff and Blue. That's going to be taken at the 15-yard line. Kyle Whitford bringing it out to the 23-yard line. So Kyle Whitford seeing a lot of time here in this ball game on that special teams return unit.
Yeah, he's made some nice returns here in the first half. Whitford, the junior, 5'9", at 163 pounds.
Get a good look there at some of the crowd in attendance here at Aloha Stadium. You're looking at the Punahou side of the field, all clad in white. If you looked across the way, as we can see from our vantage point up here in the press box, it's a sea of red throughout that side of the stadium. As Khan going to throw, and it's complete and in and out of the hands. Kyle Whitford looked like he had it for a moment and then dropped it. Could have been very close to being ruled possession and then a fumble.
You know, surprisingly, this late here in the second quarter here, Punahou only has 4 first downs, but they lead 14-7.
12.
Oh, 14-12 rather. Even I'm getting a little excited here.
2:18 remaining here in the first half in the 2005 First Hawaiian Bank Division I state final between Punahou and Kahuku. Is Khan going to throw, and it's complete to Maya Ostrowski, and he's run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Pickup of 7 yards, and that will bring up 3rd down.
Now, is that the first pass completion to Ostrowski tonight?
That's his second.
It's his second, okay. Maybe now they're coming on the, they're getting on the same page here.
Ostrowski's 2 receptions, 10 yards, basically a quiet night so far for the All-State basketball player.
And that was a nice crossing pattern run by Ostrowski.
Colin Valori has checked into the backfield for the Buff and Blue. 3rd down, short 3 from the 40-yard line. Colin again going to try to throw here. He's got Ostrowski, but he overthrew him. Nice coverage there by the secondary for Kahuku. Richard Torres, nice coverage.
That's about the 3rd pass tonight thrown to Ostrowski that Khan just missed hitting him in stride. And Ostrowski did a good job to have some separation between 2 defenders there. But Khan not able to hit him.
Brings up a 4th down, and the Buff and Blue will be forced to punt. Tuimane and Shiloh Tail back deep for the Red Raiders to receive the punt. Keoki Hong, we've talked about him already tonight. Another nice punt from Hong, and it's caught by Teo at the 20-yard line, and he is going to be wrapped up at the 27-yard line by about 4 white shirts. No flags on the play, so with 1:22 remaining, we'll get another chance for Kahuku maybe to get something going.
That was good special teams coverage by Punahou to get down there. They got down there pretty quickly to limit Teo's return.
You know, we've talked about Kahuku and their running game, but we really haven't focused on their offensive line. In the OIA playoffs against Farrington, the OC16 crew covering that game gave them the player of the game, and really I think it's very fitting because they really do a yeoman's load of the work.
Well, it all starts with them when it comes to the running game.
Krebs, that pass is caught. Devin Unga, he's at the 45 and tripped up. Micah Murashige tripped up Devin Unga at the 40-yard line. And Kahuku not content to rest on its laurels.
Watch the concentration here. Devin Unga actually tips the ball and was able to stay with that. And boy, another big catch there by Devin Unga. Remember, he added another big catch in the last possession for Kahuku.
And most likely a touchdown-saving tackle by Micah Murashige. Adam Morris was the man in coverage, and I think he thought Unga was going to drop the ball.
And Morris had pretty good coverage, too.
1st and 10, 36-yard line, just under a minute to go here in the second half. And that pass is caught. Jason Evans, the senior, with the reception, pickup of 5 yards. And Kahuku trying to maybe do something here with 40 seconds remaining, but no timeouts, so they'll have to hurry up.
Jason Evans with his first catch. So Siwaki Levi trying to move the ball down as quickly as possible with only 30 seconds left.
I formation, 32-yard line, 2nd down and 6. Play action fake as Krebs flushed out of the pocket. He steps up, and that pass is intended for Kamuelo Alisa, but a little bit overthrown.
Kamuelo Alisa looked like on that one he was open, but the Krebs pass was thrown a little bit too long there.
17 seconds remaining. Still enough time if they can throw an out pattern maybe to get down for 2 more plays.
I think this is the most passes Krebs has thrown in one half in a long time.
Well, between the 2 quarterbacks, the backup quarterback, Jacob Kahuai, who actually started a little bit last year, he actually has a stronger arm, so kind of surprised maybe that they don't put him in the ball game as Punahou goes ahead and takes their first timeout with 17 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, I think this is a situation where Jacob Kahuai has just not had enough reps, and to bring him in at this time with and Kahuku, not a whole lot of time to work with here. That's asking a lot for Jacob.
One of the bigger targets for Kahuku that we haven't even called his number tonight is Redmond Tudor.
Yeah, Redmond Tudor is a guy that he hasn't had a whole lot of catches this year, but when he does catch the ball, boy, that guy, I think he gains about 25 yards every time he catches it. But again, the passing game is not the bread and butter of Kahuku, it's the run.
So the Red Raiders played in the OIA championship game 17 times since 1970. As you get a good look there, a nice shot there of Aloha Stadium from the end zone. A full crowd on hand for this championship game of the Division I state tournament. Krebs now play action fake again, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to run it himself, and he is dragged down. Nice play there by Sean Murphy. First time we've called his number, so he makes his presence felt. And
See, luckily, by not calling a timeout.
well, there's no timeouts remaining, and that will be the final play of the half. And Sean Murphy makes his presence felt after not playing last week, as you see him hobble off the field. So we're at the half. It's 14-12. 2 missed extra points is really the difference in this ball game.
Yeah, and this is a big first half. Good. You talk about confidence going into the locker room. Punahou has it. Boy, they stopped a very, very tough Kahuku offense tonight. I'll tell you what, we'll see if it continues in the second half.
Punahou's defense really the story so far.
Oh, yeah, they've really stepped it up. Jonathan Overton, guys like him putting all kinds of pressure, and really the linebackers too, plugging up the holes and just stopping the runs and preventing all kinds of big running plays.
So you look at the scoreboard, a 2-point lead for Punahou in this, the first Hawaiian Bank Division I state final between the Red Raiders and the Buff and Blue. For floor director Don Belena, my partner Jim O'Shero, I'm Dan Hawkins saying stay tuned, second half's coming up. You're watching Aloha Stadium Stars Sports.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome to the halftime portion of the 2005 First Hawaiian Bank State Football Championships. Let's all give up some aloha for all the football players and coaches who have worked so hard all season. And 3 extra cheers for tonight's competitors, Kahuku and Punahou. At this time, please welcome to the field Gerald Shintaku of Kraft Foods Hawaii, Roger Godfrey and Ed Vargas of Time Supermarkets, John Akata of Adidas and Wilson Sporting Goods, Stanley Costales of Sportsline, Jan Horry of the Honolulu Star Bulletin Midweek, Larry Hogan of Pepsi, Larry Isi of American Savings Bank, Leaf Chiu of Kimberly-Clark, Keith Nahale of Dryers, Sweetie Picaro for Kraft Foods Hawaii, Wendell Say, football coach for Aya High School, Neil Takamori, athletic director for McKinley High School, Gregory Van Canfort, athletic director for Kalani High School, and Richard Haru, athletic director for Castle High School. You know, it takes about $400 to outfit one high school football player. And that's a lot of money for our schools. To help Oahu's high school athletes have the equipment they need to compete, Kraft Foods Hawaii, with the support of co-sponsors, Time Supermarkets, Sportsline, Adidas and Wilson Sporting Goods, Pepsi, Kimberly-Clark, Dryers, American Savings Bank, and the Honolulu Star Bulletin Midweek, developed the Kraft Shop and Score program. This is an off-the-field competition for all of Oahu schools to earn a share of $100,000 worth of athletic equipment for their student athletes. The best part is, just like the SATs, schools get an automatic $500 credit just for registering for the program. Tonight, we'd like to acknowledge the top 5 points-earning schools and to award the highest points earners of the Craft Shop and Score program for 2005. Could we have a drum roll, please? In 5th place this year, please put your hands together for Aiea High School. In 4th place, Kalani High School. Coming in 3rd, McKinley High School. Runner-up, Kaimuki High School. And the Craft Shop and Score highest points earner for 2005. Everyone, please join me in congratulating Castle High School. Each of the schools will receive a share of $100,000 worth of athletic equipment courtesy of Sportsline and Adidas and Wilson Sporting's Good, represented here by this check presented by Gerald Shintaku of Kraft Foods Hawaii. In addition, Castle's athletic director Richard Haru will take home the perpetual Craft Shop and Score trophy to Castle High School to display for a year, celebrating their competitive spirit as a top points earner of 2005 in the Craft Shop and Score program. Congratulations once again to Castle High School and to each of the 42 Oahu high schools who participated. And a big mahalo to Kraft Foods Hawaii, Time Supermarkets, Sportsline, Adidas and Wilson Sporting's Goods, Pepsi, Kimberly-Clark, Dryers, American Savings Bank, and the Honolulu Star Bulletin Midweek for supporting Oahu's high school athletics. And now for our halftime entertainment, we present to you the Kahuku High School dance team. Ladies and gentlemen, KSSK Promotions, Sweetie Picaro is here tonight to formally present the KSSK OIA ILH Coach of the Week honors. Tonight she'd like to honor 2 of Kahuku High School's outstanding coaches. Congratulations to girls water polo head coach Alkai Ferguson and air riflery coach John Shaw for their dedication and contribution to the student athletes both on and off the playing field. The Coach of the Week honors is brought to you by UH Rainbow Teak, the OIA, ILH, and KSSK Radio. Remember, if you know of any coach, assistant coach, athletic director, or trainer who deserves to be recognized, please submit your nominations to Sweetie at KSSK Radio or visit their website at www.ksskradio.com. And once again, congratulations to Kahuku High School's Alkai Ferguson and John Shaw, OIA Coaches of the Week.
This is a Shark's Tale.
Here we go again.
2004 phenomenal hit.
It's not just the last game of the season, it's the grand finale. Tickets available at the stadium box office. General admission $5. 6 years and under, free. The 2005 HHSAA State Football Championships are brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank, where the power of yes is the power of possibility.
I see you, you see me, and all the world can see that we should be together.
The Hawaii High School Athletic Association would like to thank the following sponsors of the 2005 First Hawaiian Bank State Championships. The title sponsor, First Hawaiian Bank. Gold sponsors, Hawaiian Airlines.
a thrilling first half between Punahou and Kahuku here in the HHSA, First Hawaiian Bank State Football Championship. How's it, everyone? Kevin Hashiro along with Donald Belena. Kahuku trailing 14-12. Punahou about to get the ball back, and it'll be a squib kick. Fielded at about the 32 and dropped down at the 37-yard line. Patrick McFadden, we saw him return a kickoff on a squibber for about 15 yards in the first half. Donald Belena, a lot of people say what a shocking first half with the Punahou Buff and Blue grabbing a 14-12 lead. Your assessment?
Well, right now, Kahuku, they're doing what they can to out-physical Punahou right now, but then Punahou has done a great job of kind of sort of controlling the line of scrimmage and making sure that they reduce the amount of big plays on the run for Kahuku.
Brett Kahn on first down, back to pass, going and throwing incomplete for the intended receiver, River Kim, who got slammed a couple of times in the first half. Incompletion will bring it 2nd down and 10. Brett Kahn in the first half, on Brett Kahn, like 6'4", 18, 87 yards, 1 touchdown, along with a somewhat questionable touchdown in the second quarter, in which the Kahuku faithful thought that he fumbled on the quarterback sneak. Officials ruled he was in, broke the plane.
Broke the plane, irregardless of the fact right now it's 14-12, and what's actually killing Kahuku is they don't have a kicking game.
2nd down and 10. Kahn going to go deep once again to Ostrowski, but this pass, is it caught? It is caught! Maya Ostrowski makes something out of nothing. That ball looked like it was going to be picked off by Chico Ramirez, but somehow, someway, Maya Ostrowski, who was shut out in the first half, what a way to make his first catch of the ball game.
And I'm sure the Punahou faithful in the first half was waiting for this to happen. They were kind of misfiring during the first half. Kahn going high, Kahn going low, Kahn going wide, but on that particular play right there, Ostrowski and Kahn, for one of the few times this evening, actually got to connect for positive yardage.
The 3rd time, only the 3rd time, and at that point, that was the first time they...
5-yard penalty. 1st down.
First time they ran off a big play. Our official Danny Bain out of the ILH indicates illegal participation. 12 players in the huddle for the Buff and Blue. That'll set them back 15 yards. So 1st and 15 coming up, ball settled at the Red Raider 41-yard line. And this is a Kahuku offense, Donald, that has not been intimidated by this pretty sensational Kahuku defensive front, which has recorded a total of 8 shutouts this season. Kahn on 1st and 15. Back to pass, going over the middle to Ostrowski. One-handed catch, but the officials say that he had stepped out of bounds before making the catch. The incompletion will bring it 2nd down and 15.
So it kind of looks like during halftime, Coach Ane is trying to make a concerted effort when they go on offense that Brett Kahn and Maya Ostrowski kind of establish themselves as a force on offense. And a couple of times now they're trying to stretch the defense, and on that time it was just that Kahn ran out of real estate and had the out-of-bounds line to contend with.
Ostrowski lined up to the top of your screen. That's Kim in motion. 2nd and 15. Kahn going to go deep, going for River Kim, who dives, cannot come up with the football. River Kim, who has come up with several big catches, and now a late flag thrown on the Punahou sideline. Zach Yamagishi clapping his hands, and we got some kind of penalty against the Red Raiders, Chico Ramirez.
We're going to see if it's some kind of roughing, because you see Kahn kind of limping toward the sideline.
There is Brett Kahn. You can see him flexing that left knee. Officials are still conferring. Here is Danny Bain.
After the play, there was a personal foul on the defense. A 15-yard penalty. They've reached the line to gain with their 1st down.
Boy, that is yet another personal foul penalties, and Donald, personal fouls have absolutely killed Kahuku here in this contest tonight.
Well, to Kahuku's credit, I mean, considering what happened last week against Waianae, this is pretty mild what's happened. I mean, I think this is only about the 3rd or 4th penalty all night. In the first half, they had a couple of offsides that kind of rejuvenated drives for Punahou.
So the personal foul, give him an automatic 1st and 10. Carlson trying to cut in, and Joe Faifili, who wears number 97, normally wears number 55. They're converging on the stop. Faifili, one of the best in the OIA on that defensive front. Short gain will make it 2nd and about 9. Officially, it'll be 2nd and 10.
You see how Faifili controls the middle of that line of scrimmage. He lines up at the nose guard position, takes care of the center, and gets to the ball carrier.
What a battle that is. Cody Kikipi, an outstanding center, lined up 1-on-1 against the nose tackle Faifili. They've gone at it all night long, tooth and nail. 2nd and 10. Khan dropping, has time, fires, completes the pass. River Kim has it inside the 25 before he is shoved down by Kaleo Spallone. Pickup of about 4 will bring up 3rd down.
One thing for sure, when you're a Punahou receiver, when you go toward the middle of the field, you got to be very, very wary about these defensive backs, because they will let you feel what it's like to catch a ball in their area.
Off of Bridenstine, remember in the first half, laid it, big time hat to Kim. 3rd and 8 officially as Khan drops back, steps up, firing to the end zone. It is off the head of Saulo Purcell, intended for Kyle Whitford. Whitford was kind of surprised. He turned around and all of a sudden here comes that pigskin. Incompletion brings up 4th down.
And again, Khan not himself. I mean, he's been misfiring a lot, and it's been pretty much the staple of the whole playoffs for Brett Kahn.
So on 4th and 8, they're going to go for it instead of going with the very reliable River Kim as the place kicker. 4th down. Khan back to pass, going to the end zone, incomplete. So the ball will be turned over on downs as Kyle Whitford was the intended target off of Bridenstine on the coverage. So the ball turned over on downs, and Kahuku will have it for the first time here in the 2nd half.
Again, Khan, as his troubles has been throughout the playoffs, he's been absolutely misfiring. Again, as you mentioned in his halftime stats, he's only been about 33%, and that's not going to get it done.
So the Kahuku rushing attack, which has only 14 yards in the first half combined out on the field. Malosi Teo, he's really been bottled up and gets bottled up again. Pickup of maybe 4 on the play will bring up 2nd down. But Malosi Teo, despite all his problems on the ground, 108 yards in the first half. Remember, he busted off that big one in the first half.
Punahou's defense doing a great job of playing in the box. It's just a couple of plays here and there where they've busted a few, but for the most part, they've contained the running game during the course of this ball game so far.
2nd and 6, I formation set. Teo again with a hole in the middle, has the 1st down and a lot more. Teo to midfield, to the 45, and shoved out of bounds at the Punahou 37-yard line. So Malosi Teo, the speedy back, breaks off another big run for the Red Raiders.
To the credit of the Red Raider coaching staff, I mean, they get bottled up here and there, but then, you know, they're waiting for that one play where they bust it wide open, and Teo, he just goes unmolested on the left-hand side between the center and the guard, and he had all kind of real estate.
38 yards on the gain, 1st and 10 from the 34. Again, this is Teo, and Teo hit Jonathan Overton after only a 2-yard gain. And tell you what, Jonathan Overton has played a very good game for the Buff and Blue. The one thing I'll remember about Overton in the first half, he chased down Malosi Teo to save a touchdown.
And you called it right there, Kevin. Overton, I mean, he's been pretty impressive. I mean, he's one of the stalwarts on that defensive line, and he possesses quite a bit of speed. And as you mentioned, he ran down Teo, and he was actually 3 or 4 yards in back of him.
One of the highly recruited players in the state. Krebs, play action, fires, incomplete. Had Redmond Tudor all alone in the flat thrown a little bit in front of the speedy 6'2 senior wideout. Bring up 3rd down and long.
The pass plays and the passing lanes are going to start to open up a little bit for Kahuku. They can run play action. They can freeze those linebackers, and these receivers and slot receivers can start going behind the linebackers, and they can start dumping it off. It's just a matter of Colin Krebs being accurate, catching his receivers out in the flat areas where it's going to be wide open.
And Devin Unga, the tight end, already 108 yards in the air. He could be a target. Kamuela Elisa on 3rd down gets to just shy of the 30-yard line. So once again, the Punahou Buff and Blue defense steps up on the front. Will bring a 4th down and about 7.
I tell you what, the middle of that defensive line being rotated between Will Tofolo and also Bucky Aona, they've done a pretty good job of controlling that middle area, allowing both Overton and also number 88, Eggesdahl, to do their jobs on the defensive end side.
4th and 6. Play action. They'll give it to Teo. Teo trying to get away. He will not. Jonathan Overton once again with a huge stop for the Buff and Blue. And Kahuku turns it over on downs.
Jonathan Overton, what a heck of a motor that he's got. 6'3", 245 pounds. He is definitely heavily recruited by a lot of schools, and he's got his choice of places to go after this season is over.
Or giving us also an assist to Stephen Danway, but we've seen the speed of Overton chase down Malosi Teo on the sideline. Then he shows you his strength and his power with the jersey takedown. 1st and 10, Buff and Blue. 7:10 remaining here. 3rd quarter. Inside slant. Ball is almost caught by Ostrowski, then almost picked off in turn by Shiloh Teo.
We've done quite a bit of ILH football during the course of this regular season, and it's almost kind of painful to see some of the trials and tribulations that Brett Kahn has been going through during this playoff season. He's really been off target. He's either been high, low, wide. He's never been on target, and you know, it was a thing of beauty when he and Maya Ostrowski have the opportunity to connect.
You have to wonder whether or not the height of these defensive backs of Kahuku are maybe causing these problems to these shorter Punahou receivers. Kainoa Carlson, or excuse me, that's Nobriga. Ryan Nobriga up the middle. He will not gain a yard. Nobriga was injured early on and just in the last few weeks has returned to the lineup. So Kevin Unga with the tackle, bring up 3rd and 10.
Kevin Unga, that Kahuku defense, I mean, they are so tough, so physical. I mean, they've got so many weapons on that defensive front 7. It's real scary sometimes.
So 3rd down. Buff and Blue come in your standard run and shoot with double slots, double wides to both sides. Kahn with a 4-man rush, steps up, fires. It is caught by Ostrowski, but just shy of midfield. He's going to be about 2 yards shy of the 1st down. Ostrowski needed to run that little out pattern 5 more yards downfield. Then he'll pick up the 1st down.
Well, it's the way that the ball was delivered also. He was past the 1st down marker. As we take a look at it here toward the end of the play on the Mountain Dew replay, we see that Ostrowski actually had to come back for the ball. So he ran his route past the 1st down marker. It was just unfortunate again that Brett Kahn's kind of misfiring and fell a little bit short on that 1st down.
4th and a yard, and Punahou is going to think about going for its own 39-yard line.
In the second
the
half.
Buff and Blue will call its first of 3 timeouts with 5:51 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. The Buff and Blue with a 14-12 lead, and so far, you mentioned, Donald, that Punahou's offense has been somewhat controlled, but it's just a lot of the mistakes that we saw Kahuku make that has resulted in a 14-12 lead for the Buff and Blue.
Well, one of the biggest surprises already, as mentioned by our first half crew, I mean, this is one of the few times anyone has scored on this Kahuku defense. I mean, we've got 12 points on the board. That was from the first half. I mean, you were lucky. I mean, with all the shutouts that these guys put up on the board, and partially due to that person right over there that we saw on top of the on the screen there, Doug Simones,
the
former head
coach, the immediate predecessor to Siwaki Levi. So the decision has been made, and Kahuku is going to roll the dice on 4th and 1 from his own 39. Play action, swing pass to Carlson, who can't make the catch, and Brett Kahn had nothing but green. Excuse me, that might have been Colin Valoria, who's the intended target, but that pass was off the mark. Had that pass been on the money, Valoria's running down the sideline.
Oh, and you could just feel the wind kind of come out of the coaching staff of Punahou when they saw that it was so perfectly set up. They ran the play action. He ran into the flat area where it was absolutely vacated. All Kahn needed to do was place it right into the receiver's hands.
So 1st and 10 for the Buff and Blue. Left side, Teo bouncing, gets past one, has the first down, driving and riding another Buff and Blue player down to the 20-yard line. Another big run for Malosi Teo, a 5'9", 185-pound senior.
So it looks like during halftime, Coach Levi and his offensive staff made a concerted effort to try to see what they can do about busting Teo loose. And we've seen so far in this 3rd quarter, he's busted some big runs.
1st and 10 at the 20. Teo again, this time from the right side. Teo trying to get to the perimeter, but a sensational man-to-man tackle made by the linebacker Kyoki Hong. Teo will lose about a yard. We'll bring up 2nd and 11.
Hong doing a great job of pursuit and then finally breaking down and getting at the legs of Teo. We see that the defense does a great job of playing assignment, and they string out the play towards the sideline. So Hong had an assist right there with the sideline, and all he had to do is grab the ankles of Teo to bring him down.
Kahuku mentioned that one of the things we have to do to stop him is to take the right angles, and that's what Kyoki Hong did. Joseph Whitaker, who's been playing a lot at fullback, gets stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. Guess who? Jonathan Overton, one of the first guys there, along with Scott Steiner, number 77. Steiner has a little bit of a knee or an ankle or a knee problem that he's been tweaking with the last few days.
Jonathan Overton, though, what a monster game he's having. He's really leaving it all on the field tonight. But I tell you what, key 3rd down play for Kahuku, reason being, I mean, for any other school, this would be close enough for a field goal, but because of the lack of the kicking game, you know they've got to go for the 6 points.
They've gone to Devin Unga on play action. Unga's lined up as a tight end on the right side of the formation. Krebs dropping, inside slant, caught by Redmond Tudor. Tudor close to a first down, but where the officials are going to spot it, he's going to be shy of the first down. And they're going to say that Tudor fumbled the football, and Punahou has it. Jay Ungadi on the recovery. Oh my, what a turn of events here with 4 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, let's take a look at this on replay. I mean, of course, we're on the other side, and we didn't get to see what transpired over here. We see that Tudor tries to fight for the first down, and he just gets stripped. And it looks like doing the stripping was Adam Morris, and right there, ready to pick it up, was Ungadi.
That's a 2nd big turnover. Remember, in the first half, it was Shiloh Teo who muffed a punt, resulting in the first of Punahou's 2 touchdowns. Play action by Kahn. Going to the sideline, and boy, the intended receiver just absolutely got tackled at the 20-yard line, but the officials say it was incidental contact, so it'll bring up 2nd down.
Wow, Ostrowski absolutely got leveled. He took about 3 or 4 steps, and before you know it, he was wearing a red jersey on top of him.
The Red Raiders have done a nice job of kind of controlling those wide receivers for the Buff and Blue. And if you're offensive coordinator, Dr. Darryl Kahn, you ought to be scratching your head as to how to solve that problem. 2nd and 10. Nobriga off the right side, and Nobriga manages to fall forward at the 25-yard line before he is brought down. I believe that might have been Kevin Unga who made first contact. Bring up 3rd down and long.
I tell you, this front 7 for Kahuku is so impressive. I mean, as it is, when you look across the line of scrimmage, they just look so massively physical against you. But on top of that, I mean, they're not sloppy. They're not. They got a bunch of athletes over there that can run.
So 3rd down and 9. Ball at Punahou's own 15. Spread formation. Kahn, here comes the blitz. Kahn gets rid of it, fires, caught by Carlson. Kainoa Carlson will have a 1st down at the 26-yard line. Suaesi Tui Maune among those making the tackle. And then tack on a roughing the quarterback, which will add 15 more yards to the play.
So Kahuku looking like they're starting to self-destruct. As we were kind of breaking things down before the Kahuku and Waianae game ended, we were just kind of saying their penalties and their lack of a kicking game might actually haunt them in this championship game.
Here is Danny Bain.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic 1st down.
Take a look at this one more time on the Jiffy Lube replay. You see that number 6, Carlson, does a great job of sneaking out into the little slot area over there, and hopefully this builds up Brett Kahn's confidence.
BJ Beatty was the guy who committed the infraction, pass over the middle. It is caught, and I believe that is Ostrowski, and then Ostrowski gets quintuple team near midfield. I'm going to call it a 49-yard line, but Maya Ostrowski, the All-State basketball player, showing some hands there, will bring up 2nd down at about 2.
Ooh, I'm sure after he got mobbed right there in the middle of the field, of course, the head basketball coach for Punahou must have been just absolutely holding his breath, because right after this game is over tonight, win or lose, he needs his starting guard.
I asked Maya a couple nights ago, does Coach Greg Takan of the basketball team, does he get nervous every time you go over the middle? He said, absolutely. 2nd down, up the middle, getting to midfield is Colin Valoria. And Valoria will be shy of the 1st down by about a yard. So 2 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Punahou with a 14-12 lead and has a 3rd and 1 facing them.
I tell you what, if Punahou is lucky enough and maybe cashes in on this particular drive over here, this could really, really spell trouble for Kahuku. They don't really have that high-powered type of offense where they can strike real quickly. And on top of that, their lack of special teams, that is, might actually really haunt them in this game.
Kainoa Carlson, the power back, joins Kahn in the backfield, and now we're going to have a delay of game against the Buff and Blue, and they just too much shuffling in and out.
Delay of game on the offense, 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
Kaleane is not going to be too happy with that, because he had players moving around all over the field, and instead of a 3rd and a yard, now he makes a 3rd and 6. Brett Kahn from Hawaii Kai began his football career as a center, believe it or not. His father, Dr. Daryl Kahn, orthopedic surgeon, offensive coordinator, and quarterback for life, you could say. Over the middle, Maya Ostrowski, 1st down. Ostrowski still on his feet, then brought down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Shiloh Teo on the stop, as well as Suaesi Tui Maune, but a 1st down for the Buff and Blue.
I'm just so impressed with the soft hands that Ostrowski had. Unfortunately, that's not the play right over there, but then Ostrowski does a great job of, just absolutely guiding the ball right into his hands. But at the same time, he shows a lot of strength at the end of that run, because it took 3 defensive backs to bring down Ostrowski.
Ostrowski, who has some friends on Kahuku, Clint Barks, who now lives on the mainland, and Junior Ale is a basketball player. They were talking trash a little bit this week. Okay, crossing pattern. This is Ostrowski. 1st down. Ostrowski slips 1 tackle, still on his feet, now on the 26-yard line. So now the combination of Kahn to Ostrowski starting to click here on this drive.
This is what we were kind of used to during the ILH season. I mean, during the ILH season, Kahn and Ostrowski, when they connected up, they averaged, Ostrowski, that is, he averaged 100 yards of receiving each game. So, this is nothing new to us. It's just that it's been kind of absent for the past couple of weeks.
Hey, not bad for Maya Ostrowski, a guy who's only been playing football since 8th grade. 1st and 10. Punahou on the move. Empty set for Khan. Dropping back, short drop. Again to Ostrowski. Cuts back to the 20. Spinning. Gets to about the 17 or the 18-yard line. And here come the red jerseys. But again, that combination starting to click. That's 3 straight plays the duo have combined.
Did you see that basketball move? He just absolutely did a reverse pivot that went back into the grain of the field, and he picked up an extra 3 or 4 yards, and now it's 2nd and short. So we take a look at here on the Midas replay. There's that little reverse pivot move, and it takes about, there again, 3 or 4 defenders to take him down.
36 minutes of football have gone. 12 more football minutes here in 2005 are up next. Time for a break. Punahou 14, Red Raiders 12. You're watching the HHSA First Hawaiian Bank State Division I Football Championship here on Aloha Stadium Stars Television Sports.
The 2005 HHSAA State Football Championships are brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank, where the power of yes is the power of possibilities.
I see you, you see me, and all the world can see that we should be together. Yeah.
About to begin the 4th quarter of action. Kevin Hashiro, Donald Belena in the final quarter of football here in 2005. Last season, Kamehameha ended a long drought, finally winning a state championship. The Punahou Buff and Blue have never won a state championship with a 2-point lead and have a 2nd down and 2 inside the Kahuku 20. Khan. And now we'll have whistles. It'll blow the play dead. Still a lot of time left on the play clock as the handoff was made to Kainoa Carlson. Could have a penalty against the Buff and Blue.
I think they're going to catch Ostrowski going towards the line of scrimmage just before the snap of the ball.
Prior to the snap, false start. On the offense, 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
So the false start will move the ball back to the 24-yard line. But if you're the Buff and Blue, well, you got to love the position you're in, up by 2 and deep in Kahuku Red Raider territory. It's a great atmosphere for football. Both sides of the stands are full.
Not only that, the stands are just absolutely rocking from our broadcast area right over here. Punahou's band is right under us, and they're just absolutely just getting their folks into this game.
Over the middle, it is caught! That's Kyle Whitman! He's in the end zone! Touchdown, Punahou! 24 yards, Brett Kahn to Kyle Whitford. The score now 20-12 as the Buff and Blue take an 8-point lead on the first play of scrimmage here in the 4th quarter.
What a way to start off the 4th quarter. First play, Khan looks down the post, looks right down the middle, and absolutely open was his receiver, Kyle Whitford, breaking 2 or 3 tackles on his way into the end zone. 6 points.
River Kim for the extra point, right down the middle. 7 seconds gone here in the 4th quarter, and the underdog Punahou Buff and Blue with a 9-point lead over a heavily favored Kahuku Red Raiders squad, 21-12.
You could almost see the stunned look on the opposite side Kahuku right now, they're not used to this. They're used to having big leads by this point. In fact, by right, I mean, with a lot of games that we've done with Kahuku, they'd be in mercy right now.
Well, Kyle Whitford was a guy who was not often used. He wasn't thrown to very little in the regular season, but he may have come up with the biggest touchdown for the Buff and Blue here in 2005. You saw Siraki Levi. There's got to be a sense of urgency now on the Kahuku Red Raiders side of the football.
I tell you what, Punahou did a great job of eating clock and trying to establish the combination of Ostrowski and Khan. And, you know, it took 9 plays to get down the field, and it culminated in a touchdown pass from Khan to Whitfield.
So River Kim about to kick off. Back deep to receive. Shiloh Teo and Lehigh Aumua. Deep kickoff. And this will be in the end zone for the automatic touchback as the ball broke the plane of the goal line. So now the Kahuku Red Raiders' turn. Trailing by 9. Need to mount some kind of drive on this possession.
This is going to be gut check time now for Kahuku. I mean, this is one of the rare occasions where we're in the 4th quarter and they're behind.
And the 21 points allowed by the Red Raiders, by far the most allowed this year. In fact, I believe Punahou has outscored the rest of the OIA teams combined in regular season play.
If I'm not mistaken, Castle, though, on their win,
That's
they
right.
scored 23 points.
Up the middle, Malosi Teo gets sandwiched past the line of scrimmage.
That one blemish on their record, again, was against Castle this past season, and it was just one of those nights where they didn't have it together, and Castle scored 23 on them, and they just absolutely blitzed them.
You are correct, sir. So 2nd down and 9. Again, look at Punahou stack in the inside of the box. Again, Teo up the middle, and again, Teo very little over the middle. Scott Steiner playing with that sore ankle, making the tackle on Malosi Teo.
Steiner and Overton, they've done such a great job controlling that line of scrimmage. Eggesdahl, and again, you got the 2 big boys that rotate in and out. I'm just so impressed on how Tofolo and also Bucky Aona has done a great job of controlling the middle of that line of scrimmage.
3rd and 6. Big play for the Red Raiders. Again, Teo up the middle. He is hit, but dragging tacklers, and then finally gets about a half a yard shy of the 1st down marker. Mike Eggesdahl prevented the 1st down, but 4th and short, and even though you're at your own, just shy of your own 30, this is maybe 4 down territory for the Red Raiders.
It's pretty much a foregone conclusion. And, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that Teo had the opportunity to bounce it out, you saw there on the screen, Tofolo just absolutely stood the center up. And if someone was there to kind of cover up that little puka over there, Teo wouldn't have gone as far.
Well, Shuaki Levi says it's not worth the gamble here on 4th down, although, don't forget, the Red Raiders could pull off a fake. They've done it before. This time they're going to kick it, and Nagy gets off a high end over end punt. Ostrowski will make the fair catch at his own 37-yard line. So the Buff and Blue with 9:49 remaining here in this game, up 21-12 now with a drive here, has a chance to really put this game away.
You called it. I believe the Punahou coaching staff also anticipated a fake punt. You notice that they didn't put on a rush at all. As soon as the center snap went back, all of the down linemen, all they did was stand up. Reason being, they didn't want anything to get behind them. So great call by the special teams coach of Punahou.
Good job of scouting. 1st and 10. Khan out of shotgun. The give is to Carlson. Carlson with a hole. Carlson up the middle and then slips and falls at the 44-yard line. Carlson, gain of 8 off of Bridenstine, the 6'1", hard-hitting safety, making the tackle.
I know we've got about 9 minutes left in this ball game, but you can definitely feel what side of the ball where the momentum is going at right now, and Punahou is absolutely running with it right now.
Really, they've got, it looks like, they really got the Red Raiders guessing here. Just a simple handoff up the middle, and see how big that hole opened for Kainoa Carlson. 2nd and 4, as they say that Carlson picked up 6 on the last play. Carlson again, this time. He'll lose yardage behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of a couple. That's Kaniela Tuipolotu on the stop. He had a great game against IA a couple weeks ago. 5 quarterback sacks.
He was a one-man wrecking crew. I remember that game also. I mean, he was just a monster in the middle of that line of scrimmage. But at the same time, give credit to this Punahou offensive line. They've done a pretty good job of controlling things and giving their skill people room to operate.
Gavin Silva, Edward Paulette, Cody Kikipi, Trevor Grace, Drew Peressa represent the front 5 on that line. Khan, ball is incomplete. Pass thrown slightly behind the intended target, Zach Yamagishi. Kaleo Spallone there on the defense. So Kahuku does what it needs to do and holds on third down, and now the Buff and Blue will have to kick.
And the fortunate thing also here for Kahuku is that on this incomplete pass, the clock is stopped, so you know, they have some extra time to kind of play around with over here.
Lehigh Almua standing back at his own 20-yard line. Kyoki Hong has had a great night tonight punting. This time a high end over end, somewhat short. Bounces at the 25. And then downed about the 20-yard line by Dane Nishikawa. So with 8:06 remaining, the Buff and Blue with a 21-12 lead. And again, Kahuku needs to come up with some kind of drive here and then get the ball back. And they have to do it within the next 8 minutes.
Kind of looks like Punahou has a lot of confidence in that defense, and they've done their share and done their end to hold up the deal here.
I formation set. Melosi Teo is the deep back. Play action. Krebs dropping back, looking for the tight end Unga. Unga cannot hang on to the football, but a great job. Coming over was Kyoki Hong, the linebacker, to knock that pass away from Devin Unga. That time they had that play well scouted.
That was textbook, because you can see that where the ball position was, Hong used his offhand, reached over, and made sure that he didn't make contact with the receiver. So it was a clean play all the way. Great job there by Kyoki Hong.
Clock stop, 8:01, 2nd and 10 at the 21. Again, I formation set. Double wides, that's Evans and Tudor. Misdirection play, Teo around the right side. He's got a hole. Teo off and running, out in the clear. Teo down the sideline. It's a foot race. Melosi Teo, he will score. Touchdown, Kahuku. 79 yards for Pater, and the Red Raiders are right back into this ballgame.
Monster run. Let me tell you, he is a player. He's got to have close to 200 yards. I mean, he's busted some absolutely big plays tonight. Take a look at this touchdown one more time on the Dietrich Insurance replay. It kind of looks like that he could have got stopped in the back of the line of scrimmage, but missed tackle, and that is not the way to do it right there. And then he just out-races the defensive backfield for Punahou.
Big Joe Faifili, the defensive lineman, lines up as one of 2 fullbacks in the power I set. Teo, or excuse me, Elisa, he's in for 2. It is now a 1-point game. 21-20, and the North Shore Caravan to made the hour-long drive from Laie. They are jumping for joy on the other side of the stadium.
We'll take a look at the 3-point conversion. I mean, this was just man up, and they just out-physicaled that Punahou defense. And you can see the fire that's absolutely generated by Coach Simones. You got the yin and the yang going on over here. Coach Levi is usually on the calm side. You see, he kind of holds things together. But you've got a madman in Doug Simonis. Now we'll have the opportunity to take a look at the touchdown. As I mentioned, if you take a look at over here, it looks like he almost gets stopped. You can't give Teo a second chance. The tackler in the backfield went up high. Teo, with his upper body strength, just absolutely broke that tackle, and the rest is history.
So the Red Raiders are right back into it after it looked like they were left for dead. Squib kick by Nagy. Goes through it past Valoria. He'll pick it up at the 10, but he does not have the wall. But Valoria gets away! Valoria down the right side, then cuts back in and dragged down at the 45-yard line. Oh, Colin Valoria, where did that come from?
What almost looked like a disastrous play with that muff return. All of a sudden, the coverage just kind of broke down, and Valoria found an opening. I mean, everything was just so congested. You saw after all of those red jerseys went falling down like a whole bunch of dominoes, he found himself 20 yards, instead of being tackled at about the 15-yard line.
7:35 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Punahou with a 1-point lead. Khan, 1st and 10 from his own 36. Empty set, fires out, and it is intercepted! Chico Ramirez comes up with the pick, and now Kahuku, the momentum completely on its side.
And look how quickly the momentum shifted. We were just mentioning, and it wasn't more than a minute and a half ago that we just said that, hey, the guys in white had all the momentum. Look at what happens over here. A long run. Now you got it. Now you got defensive play over here, and on top of that, they've got a short field to operate in. They're at the 40-yard line.
Only 40 yards away, 7:29. Now the Punahou sideline chanting defense, defense. Give to Teo, right side. And Teo this time again bottled up after a pickup of maybe a yard. Steiner once again on the initial hit.
Steiner went high, and he had Frederick Rolfing, number 13, going down low. So, I mean, Teo, you've got to bottle him up at that initial point of contact. Once he busts through the line of scrimmage, you're asking for trouble.
Remember, one of the heart and soul players of this Punahou defense, in Sam Higgins, injured his right knee, did come back and play briefly, but he is not on the field. 2nd and 9, tight formation. Teo once again around the left side, gets past Danaway, trying to stiff arm his way, and then gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. Stephen Danaway was the one who made the hit, but Teo got away from the other linebacker, Sean Murphy, and Kyoki Hong was also there to help finish up the play.
Wow, the Punahou defense tightening things up right over here. Again, that almost spelled trouble as Teo got away from one tackler, but at the same time, it just strung things out, and lucky thing, reinforcements were there to string it towards the sideline.
3rd and 9, 6, 10, and counting in this game. The Buff and Blue with a slim 1-point lead. 3rd down. I formation set. Play action. Here comes the rush. And Crumb will be sacked. Jonathan Overton and Stephen Danaway.
That time, Punahou guessed right. They just absolutely flooded up the middle and didn't give Krebs any time to do his little play action and look downfield. By the time he came out of his play action, and we'll take a look at it over here, as soon as he fakes, he's already got the 2 defenders, Danaway and also Overton, right on top of him.
Timeout, Kahuku.
Timeout, Kahuku. 5:29 remaining. The Red Raiders and Buff and Blue now have 2 timeouts. That's Maya Ostrowski back to receive the punt. Donald, the ebb and flow of this game, the emotions here in this particularly in this fourth quarter have been almost unbearable for everybody here in the stadium.
I tell you what, can you just feel that? I mean, we feel the bouncing right underneath from all of these faithful Punahou backers who's been absolutely waiting for something like this to happen. And at the same time, you look across the field and you feel the energy on the other side where, you know, they had that feeling where after they lost to Leilehua last year, this is what they wanted. This is what they geared up for all year.
And for the Punahou Buff and Blue, a storybook finish in ILH, having to survive a playoff in Division I of the ILH along with Kamehameha and St. Louis. The Buff and Blue emerge as the victors, trying to hang on to a 1-point lead. Nagy back to punt. Beautiful high line drive, end over and kick. In fact, Ostrowski not even back there. Oh, you talk about a great bounce. And then the Buff and Blue player, that's Kyoki Hong. I don't know what he was thinking, taking a chance. And then luckily for him, that ball just died right straight on the carpet. Otherwise, Kahuku may have a first and goal at the 2-yard line.
Let's call it what it was for Hong. That was an absolute brain fart. I mean, the thing about it is, as it is, Punahou conceded that they were anticipating a fake punt, didn't even have a returner in the back. Everyone was lined up at the line of scrimmage. Then all of a sudden, Hong goes back over there, and right now they're in a bit of trouble right now, being at about the 2-yard line.
1st and 10. Brett Kahn operating out of the shadow of his goalpost. Buff and Blue got to be careful. A safety will give the Red Raiders the lead. Kahn back to pass. Here comes the rush. Deep pass over the middle, and almost with a one-handed catch is River Kim. But that's probably nothing out of the ordinary. We've seen River Kim come up with great catch after great catch in ILH play this season.
I tell you what, that defensive back, number 12, you'll see him coming over the top. He just tattoos Kim. You see that?
Suaesi Tui Maune, 6'1", 182-pound senior. He was part of Kahuku State Championship 4x400 meter relay. Second and 10 at the 2. This time Kahn will drop the under center. Offset I formation. Play action, and Kahn hit in the backfield, and the officials are going to say incomplete. That was absolutely close to being called intentional grounding, and if that was, that's a safety, and Kahuku has the lead.
Let's see how close that gets. So take a look at the Aloha Shoyu replay. They weren't going to fool anybody on that play action, and barreling down on Brett Kahn was number 97 for Kahuku.
That's Joe Faifili. Faifili probably will be named All-OIA, possibly All-State later on after the season's done. 3rd and 10 from the 2. Kahn, inside handoff, Carlson, he doesn't get out of the end zone! This is going to be a safety! Kaniela, Tuipolotu with the safety, knocking Kainoa Carlson back in the end zone, and the Red Raiders on a wild play, a play you don't see very often, a safety, and now the Red Raiders have the lead, 22-21.
Tuipolotu's been quiet all evening, but what a time to make a statement. This was just a long developing play. Again, what happened was that front 7, they just absolutely stood up the offensive linemen of the Punahou Buff and Blue, and they pushed them into the backfield, and that was trouble.
You talk about perfect timing, and you mentioned the absolute push, and that is just the heart and soul of that Red Raider defense. Kaniela Tuipolotu, BJ Beatty, Michael Wiley. You talk about a turnaround, 22-21, and the worst nightmare for Kaleane with the ball back in the shadow of his goalpost comes to fruition, because the safety gives the Red Raiders the 22-21 lead, and plus the Red Raiders will get the ball back with 5:02 left.
Yeah, they've got a free kick it.
So River Kim will tee it up at the 20. Shiloh Teo, there's Tuipolotu, so far the hero of this game. 22-21 on Tuipolotu's safety, tackling Kainua Carlson in the end zone. So River Kim teeing it up. High, deep kickoff. This is going to be returnable for Shiloh Teo, who bobbles it. Then he will calmly pick it up at his 19. Teo trying to bounce to the outside, trying to find the wall, then gets knocked down, but still on his feet. Teo cuts back and then knocked out at the 40-yard line. Well, if the momentum wasn't completely on Kahuku's side a moment ago, it definitely is now. First the safety and then a pretty return there for Shiloh Teo.
Teo making things interesting on special teams this evening. I mean, he's already muffed a punt, and now he muffs a kickoff, but he plays Houdini right over here. And this is the second time tonight that Punahou hasn't been able to finish up a play.
Kahuku now going into their power offense. They're going to tighten up the formation with a power eye set. Teo up the middle, twists and turns down to the 42-yard line.
Flag.
Jay Angadi on the tackle, but there is a flag on the play in the Kahuku backfield nonetheless. Illegal procedure against the Red Raiders, so 5-yard markup makes it 1st and 15. Malosi Teo, by the way, through 3 quarters.
Illegal procedure on the offense, only 6 men on the line. 5 yards, repeat first down.
Mentioned Teo, by the way, through 3 quarters, 169 yards on the ground. That does not include that 79-yard touchdown run earlier in this quarter. Power eye set once again. Punahou going to stack the box. Just about everybody's at the line of scrimmage. Off misdirection, Teo up the middle, and he'll be dropped down. Jay Angadi on the tackle. Modest gain of maybe 3, perhaps 4, making it 2nd down and long. But the clock slowly starts to tick away. 4.5 minutes left and counting here in 2005. Boy, and if you're the Punahou faithful, these has got to be agonizing seconds that tick off the clock.
And Kahuku in no hurry to line up at the line of scrimmage.
Still 10 seconds left on the play clock. Red Raiders going to use every second. Teo again, this time around the left side, trying to use that speed, but a great job of backside pursuit is Stephen Danaway. It'll be a gain of maybe a yard. We'll bring up 3rd down, but the clock still continues to tick.
This is one heck of a ball game over here. It's going to be a crying shame to see someone actually coming out with no victory here.
On 3rd and long, the Red Raiders will now bring out their 3rd and long package, which includes double wides with Redmond Tudor and Jason Evans. Tudor is the right slot. Out of your screen to the top is Jason Evans. 3rd and 11. The Buff and Blue need a stop here. They'll give it around the left side, and again, Teo is dragged down by Jonathan Overton, who's had a whopper of a game tonight. So it'll bring a 4th down and long, and Punahou will call a timeout with 3 minutes remaining. So Kahuku will have to kick.
It's going to be pretty safe to say that Ostrowski's actually going to have a chance, and he has had a couple of touchdowns via special teams so far this season.
Danny Bain saying put some more time off the clock, because immediately after the play was over, the Buff and Blue called for a timeout, and maybe about 7 seconds ran off the clock, so they'll put 3:07 remaining. There's Doug Simonis, defensive coordinator and special teams coach.
That's their 2nd team timeout.
So the timeout by the Buff and Blue, they'll have 1 more remaining. 3:07 left, and if the Buff and Blue manage to successfully gain possession of this ball, considering they don't muff it and then turn it over. Boy, what a position for young Brett Kahn to be in.
Well, at least with Punahou, there's not so much pressure on Kahn to stick it into the end zone because they do have a reliable kicker in River Kim.
One of the best in the state. But first, the punt. Ostrowski standing back at his own 25. Gary Nagy to kick it away. Let's see if the Buff and Blue try to set up the return. Here they come. Good punt. Nagy angles it away from Ostrowski. It'll take a parallel bounce across the field stripes inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. And with 2:08 remaining in this ball game, the Buff and Blue trail by a point. And now onto the field trots in quarterback Brett Kahn, 6'2", 185-pound junior. This may be a defining moment in his high school career.
And boy, wouldn't this Punahou faithful would like to see that tandem of Ostrowski and Kahn clicking right now.
Ball is batted straight up in the air and then knocked down as Kahn had that ball whacked at the line of scrimmage and went straight up in the air. And the Kahuku faithful were looking up and said, ball, ball.
Gotta hand it to the Kahuku defense. They're rising up to the occasion right now. And that was Beatty that batted down that ball.
B.J. Beatty, one of the best in the state. 2nd and 10, 2:52 on the clock. Kahn dropping back. Here comes the rush. Fires over the middle, and this one will be picked off. Chico Ramirez down the sideline. Chico Ramirez down to the 6. Ramirez comes up with his 2nd interception of the game, and this one, once again, comes in such a timely manner with 2:41 remaining, and Brett Kahn will have to trot off the court, trot off the field.
And Kahn with 2 straight interceptions. And what a time to start falling apart.
Exuberance on the Red Raiders sideline. Well, that wasn't even close.
No, I mean, that ball just absolutely sailed. Oh, you see that crackback block? It was incredible.
Colin Krebs going to have to call a timeout as the play clock was winding down. And if the timeout was called...
Timeout was called before the clock expired.
It was called in time. So now both teams will have one timeout remaining, 2:41 remaining here in this contest. Defense wins championships. That is what Siwaki Levi has said. And defense has certainly stepped up to the plate for the Red Raiders. 2 interceptions result in 2 touchdowns, and then the safety on Kainoa Carlson. And it couldn't come at more opportune times here late in the 4th quarter when it looked like that the Buff and Blue were about to seal this game up by 9.
Oh, and you could just feel the air come out of that balloon for the Punahou faithful. I mean, right now they're trying to urge on their defense to possibly take away this ball right here.
4-down territory. You know that even though the Red Raiders face a 4th down, they're not going to go for it. Again, power formation. Five Feely, the defensive back, is in. Up the middle. Elisa, touchdown, Kahuku. (28-21), 2:37 remaining. And now the impending 2-point conversion. And if Kahuku is successful like they were in the last time, it's a 9-point game the other way.
Take a look at this. Look at this lead block right here. He just takes him into the end zone. What a monster block by fullback Joseph Whitaker as he helps Elisa escort it into the end zone.
2-point conversion. Again, it's Elisa over the top. This time he'll be stuffed. Trying to go straight over the pile. And he got knocked backwards. So the 2-point conversion fails, but saving grace, it's only a 7-point lead, and there's still 2:37 left on the clock, so hope remains for the Buff and Blue.
Glimmer of hope. Now, Brett Kahn has to absolutely phase out his previous mistakes. They don't count anymore. They don't exist anymore. He's got, now the pressure is squarely on him to make plays. Take a look at the touchdown one more time on the replay. Again, you see Elisa just absolutely following his lead blocker, Whitaker. I mean, he just bulldozes his way. I mean, he could have took it into the end zone himself.
The Red Raiders have scored 16 consecutive points and have taken the 28-21 lead. But for all the momentum that has gone to the side of Kahuku, the Buff and Blue still have a chance to tie this game at 28. Kyle Whitford, Colin Valoria standing back at their own 11-yard line. Charles Nagy about to kick it away. The press box rocking up and down. Again, another squib kick. Fielded. Oh, it's going to go through. Whitford will pick it up at his own 15. Whitford trying to get to the outside, looking for the wall, and then gets sandwiched down to the 26-yard line.
I tell you, all the excitement that we're getting over here. You've got Punahou not being able to secure the kick. Then all of a sudden, the whole purpose of the squib kick almost doesn't materialize for Kahuku, as they almost let a big play bust open. Great job of securing the ball here by Whitford. And then he cuts up field, and the Kahuku special teams almost loses track of their lanes.
Richard Torres and Sifa Hemuli on the stop. So now, Khan, 74 yards away from Pater. It hits River Kim over the middle. Kim, they're going to say, is brought down inside the field of play, just shy of the 30-yard line. So a gain of about 3. Clock continues to tick with 2:15 remaining. The Buff and Blue are out of timeouts.
Great play there by Chico Ramirez, because they credit him with that tackle for being in bounds, which forces Punahou to take their last time out.
They actually had no timeouts, and there's an equipment problem with, I believe, one of the Buff and Blue players. And now Maya Ostrowski is turning around and saying, what's the deal with the play clock? They'll reset the play clock, and now the game clock will wind. There's Ostrowski's heads-up play on his part. Inside to Ostrowski, reverses his field, gets past the 35 to the 36. That will barely get the first down for the Buff and Blue, and the clock will stop temporarily at 1:53. Tuipulotu, who made the go-ahead points on the safety with the tackle. So 1st and 10 at the 31-yard, just over the 31. Khan dropping back over the middle. Again, Ostrowski. Ostrowski to the 45-yard line. He'll be a 2-yard shy of the first down. Clock continues to tick, 1:40 and counting. Buff and Blue will hurry to the line of scrimmage. Again, no huddle attack for Punahou. Khan dropping. Here comes the rush. Khan trying to get away, and then flips a shovel pass, and it's almost picked off by Tuipulotu. Oh, and Khan nearly made a major tactical error by flipping a pass in which there was no one except red jerseys.
Whoa, that nearly became a disaster for the Buff and Blue. That could have ended it right there for Punahou. Thank God they got a little bit of a reprieve over here. He's being chased by Beatty, and Tuipulotu nearly gets himself an interception, a defensive lineman's dream.
Clock stopped on the incompletion with 1:25. 3rd and 2. 4-down territory for the Buff and Blue, trailing by 7. Kahn dropping, has time, fires, complete. It's out to Carlson. Carlson needs to get out of bounds, and he does barely. No, they say he does not. And now the clock will stop as the chains are moved. However, decent play for Kainoa Carlson. Ball at first and 10 at the 40-yard line of the Red Raiders.
Well, Carlson, he does his darndest to try to get as much as he can on that play, but then again, not too smart, as he should have got out of bounds, so they would have had time to call a play.
Remember, no timeouts for the Buff and Blue. Kahn dropping back, looking over the middle, has a receiver. It is caught by River Kim inside the 25. Now they're going to say the pass is dropped. It's incomplete, and River Kim comes up with yet almost another acrobatic circus catch.
River Kim reaches into the Halava Knight, doesn't have the opportunity to secure the ball, and just as he hits the turf, it just bounces out. And we saw that he didn't have possession of the ball. We hear the booing on the side of the North Shore fans over there, but then clearly, as shown by our replay, and great job by our camera crew, that that wasn't a catch.
Second down and 10. 1 minute, 10 seconds remaining. Buff and Blue need a touchdown and the extra point to send it into overtime. Pass over the middle, and it's caught by Ostrowski, but Ostrowski dragged down at the 40-yard line by Richard Torres. Clock will now tick. Under a minute left. It'll be third down and 10.
And that play didn't gain anything for them.
Now 50 seconds left. Kahn, third down. Back to pass, firing over the middle. Can't find anybody. Ball is tipped away. Intended for Valoria. But Tui Maune, as well as Saulo Purcell, there to knock it away. And now it is 4th and 10.
This is do or die right now for Punahou. Kahn throwing into double coverage that time.
43 seconds left. 4th and 10 from the Kahuku 40-yard line. Brett Kahn, who shares an American Studies class with the most famous Punahou student, Michelle Wee. With a pressure situation here on 4th and 10, and then top of your screen, Micah Wiley jumps offside. So now it's going to be 4th down and 5.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards, and made 4th down.
That shortened things up for Punahou, but at the same time, they get that extra yardage without the clock moving.
Ball now at the 35, 3-man front. Kahn, with Carlson with him in the backfield. 4th down. Kahn going out to the flat, has Valoria. He's got the first down at the 29-yard line. The clock will stop with 38 seconds left to play in this game.
Great play to at least pick up the first down. It was unfortunate that Valoria couldn't keep his balance to not only gain a little bit more yards, the possibility of going out of bounds to stop the clock and call a decent play.
Clock will now begin. 34-33, pass over the middle. It is caught. Whitford dumped inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Kyle Whitford, another big play from a seldom used wide receiver. And now the Buff and Blue in business. 1st and goal at the 3.
Great play. I don't know what's happening in the defensive backfield of Kahuku, and now it forces them to talk things over, and it gives Punahou an opportunity to work things out. What a hell of a 28 seconds that we still have to go through, Kevin.
I don't know what the attendance record is, but there has got to be close to maybe 30,000 here at Aloha Stadium. You've got the Mauka sideline in red, on the Mackay sideline, the press box side in white. And this crowd has been treated to maybe one of the greatest football playoff games in the history of the state. Unbelievable ebb and flow, the momentum going back and forth in this ball game.
It's been absolutely a treat to watch this game. Nobody has really had the opportunity to seize control of this ball game. Just when it looks like the momentum shifts on one side, the other side does their darndest to reach back deep into their depths to retrieve it.
First and goal from the 3. Khan looks like he will drop under center. Remember, the Buff and Blue have no timeouts. Play action. Khan rolling. End zone. Intercepted.
He threw right into double coverage. Unbelievable.
Suaesi, Tui Maune saves the Kahuku Red Raiders. And with 23 seconds left, Kahuku will win yet another state championship and thwart a great effort by the Buff and Blue in the waning seconds.
It would have been better. I mean, for us, it's easy to second guess where, you know, there was a whole bunch of red jerseys over there. If he would have just maybe thrown it over the end zone, he lived to play another play. Take a look at this one more time on the Pepsi replay. This is a pretty good play to give Khan some time because there's pressure coming up the middle. But you see, there's 2 defensive backs.
Off of Bright, and they had Maya Ostrowski, the go-to guy, well covered. They knew
Illegal substitution.
who was going to get the ball.
And you can see that pain and agony on Coach Kale Ane's face because, you know, they just got the first down. They busted a big play. He puts away his headset. He knows this is over.
Boy, and Brett Kahn, what a job. This junior who threw 2 costly interceptions as Colin Krebs will kneel. They don't have to make another snap. The Kahuku Red Raiders, denied by the Lelehua Mules last year in the state semifinals, have returned to the top of the hill. Once again, 2005, the Kahuku Red Raiders are your state football Division I champions.
The state championship goes back to the North Shore. Congratulations, Kahuku. And unfortunately, in games like this, there's a loser. But congratulations also goes to Punahou. And they gave us a heck of a game. I mean, this is one of the ones that has got to go down in history in Hawaii High School.
I think, unquestioned, we've seen some outstanding games in the past, but this one will certainly go down as to maybe one of the best ever. Kale Ane clearly disappointed. And there's a hug from Doug Simonis, 2 great coaches here in Hawaii High School football. Simonis, of course, the former coach at Kahuku, greeting his counterpart, Kale Ane. 28-21 is the final score. Kahuku, their defense, stepped up when it absolutely positively had to.
Give credit to Coach Siuki Levi for believing in the fact that, hey, we've got a whole ball game. They were just down 2 points at half.
And this team was down 21-12 early in the 4th quarter, and it looked like all the momentum was on the side of the Buff and Blue. And then Malosi Teo busts off a 79-yard touchdown run, bringing the Red Raiders to within 2 after the Kamuela Elisa 2-point conversion. And then it was Kaniela Tuipolotu, his safety, in the end zone, gives Kahuku the lead. And then after an interception, the second by Chico Ramirez, Elisa punches it in, making it 28-21 with 2.5 left. And then on the other side, you had Punahou, Brett Kahn, almost John Elway-esque, leading his team from his own, from about the 25-yard all the way down to the 3. And then another ill-fated interception by Kahn, but give a lot of credit to this Punahou Buff and Blue. There was maybe very few people who would believe that this Buff and Blue team would be here playing on the final game of 2005.
Well, the thing about it is this is a wonderful thing to see. You'll only see it in high school football. You see all of the supporters of both schools stood here, even on the losing sideline. Punahou's fans are right over here. They've waited for so long to get to this position, and unfortunately they fell short. I was just given a number over here on attendance. Attendance number for tonight, 24,667.
That is but a couple of hundred shy of the attendance record in the HHSA football championships. The record was set in 2001, the very first HHSA, or the second HHSA championship, when 24,841 watched Kahuku down St. Louis 21-14 here at Aloha Stadium. But the fans here, Donald Balena, were treated to a gem of a ball game. I don't think they're going to be talking about this one for many, many years to come.
Exuberance on one sideline, disappointment understandably on the other. But a whale of a ball game. A whale of a ball game.
The fourth state championship for the Kahuku Red Raiders, and they had to survive as they watched Brett Kahn drive his team all the way down across the field to the 3-yard line where it fell short. So congratulations to the Kahuku Red Raiders. There is Suaesi Tui Maune, who saved the game for the Red Raiders with the interception of Brett Kahn in the end zone to seal the deal for the Kahuku Red Raiders.
I tell you what, I mean, we're looking at the lines right now where they're shaking hands and whatnot, and Kahuku, always a class school. They always win with a lot of class. As we take a look at the one of the key plays over here, Teo busting loose on a long touchdown run here.
That is the 79-yarder, which brought the Red Raiders to within a point at 21-20 midway through the fourth quarter. 30 carries for Malosi Teo, 262 yards on the ground. Well, what a dogfight this was, going back and forth. The Punahou fans applauding their buff and blue as they put forth a valiant effort which fell short, but tonight belongs to the Kahuku Red Raiders, state champions for the 4th time. What a game this was. We want to thank a ton of people for making our broadcast possible here in the state championship game, Division I and Division II, which saw Iolani win the Division II crown earlier tonight. First, we want to thank Jim Oshiro, Dan Hawkins for first half commentary of this game. Also want to thank Ed Nartates, our director, back in the Jumbotron. Jim Oshiro coming back and directing us here in the booth for the second half. Every man and woman that has been a statistician, a camera operator, everyone who has come out to Aloha Stadium every week of high school football here. 2005 was a blast, Donald Balena. I think 2006 may be just exciting as well.
I tell you what, one of the things that we did recognize during the course of this season, I mean, a whole bunch of new players involved, a whole bunch of new schools involved in these playoffs.
Final score, the Kahuku Red Raiders are state champions once again. 28-21 is your final. For everybody here at Aloha Stadium, for Donald Balena, I'm Kevin Ashiro saying good night from Halava here at Aloha Stadium. Take care of yourselves, and until 2006, aloha everyone.
Football fans, please direct your attention to the 50-yard line for the presentation of the Division I championship and runner-up trophies. Representing the title sponsor, First Hawaiian Bank, is Vice Chairman Tony Guerrero. At this time, the runner-up trophy is presented to the Buff and Blue of Punahou. And now the Division I state champion goes to the Red Raiders of Kahuku.
Get in here, boys. Get in here.
Everybody up.
You guys wait.
Everybody up.
Number one, baby.
Number one. Our trophy stars.
Football fans, let's give a warm round of applause for these two fine teams for the great game they played tonight and for their outstanding season. The Hawaii High School Athletic Association thanks you support of our high school student athletes and asks that you please drive home safely. Aloha.